What's going on, guys? We are back for our next session of Lordly Caliber and my first session with a brand new Blue Yeti microphone. Here's hoping I don't manage to, break a membrane inside this thing like I think I did with my other one. That is neither here nor there, though. I should be sounding amazing right now. Real quick, like I've been saying on all my videos, I'm assuming by the time this goes live on Sunday, the channel will have hit 424 subscribers. So that means all we're waiting for is our Patreon to reach give or take like $150 a month. And if we can pull that off, we will grab you and 5 or 6 of your fellow subscribers and run you through the Doomsday Dawn adventure or the Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest, which I'm still super stoked about. As always, just like and subscribe for more videos. Our Patreon link will be in the description is where it will be. And with no further ado, let me grab that magical dice for our in-character reflections. Starting with, well, Sarah's out today. Sarah is sick. Sarah is last minute sick. So I need a D5, I guess. Yeah. I have to type very quietly or my mic will hear it. Alrighty, so first up is Colin. Xandu, you have the floor in character reflection for that hero point.
Well, this is definitely not good. We have so much death and destruction already that we've left this entire place haunted for miles around. And this is supposedly what's bringing about the end of the world. So we really need to find a way to slow down the damage until we can figure something out.
Fair enough. I'm glad I remember to mute OBS when I'm talking so I can burp loudly into the microphone and be just fine. Take your hero point, sir. And we will roll again. 1, 5, and it's gonna hit a 4 like it always does. Nope. Van wants to go last, so we'll just bounce over him. Donald, in character reflection for that hero point. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, so what's going through Lucia's mind? The encounter with the div is still on her mind, especially with the rat she saw. How did she get herself into the situation being duped by a rat and a div? This is definitely going to be on her mind, thinking how foolish she was, and she usually thinks most of this through. Also, traveling with the party have changed her opinion on the rat lich and how to obtain the Lepus Mortis. She definitely needs to think this through. Sometimes being a Cheliaxian and keeping promises does have its downside, which she does not want to be a blackguard, as she have lost a lot up to this point. So this adventure so far have been quite interesting. At least she have friends and made a new friend named Zol. Zol, how you pronounce the couple name? So yes, since going east, she had a interesting life so far.
Fair enough.
And for my hero, hero point, I'm just going to reduce the strength damage down to 1 so I can actually move a bit.
So you want to immediately expend the hero point that you're getting right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, like I said before, you can just undo the spell that was cast on you, go to full strength as well.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty, so be it. That hero point is spent, and we haven't even started yet. My job as GM is so easy.
Yeah, this is the first for me.
Alrighty, Kane, you have the floor. Francis, Root, in character reflection for that hero point, sir.
Well, we're out. That's good. We all kind of look and feel like shit. That's bad. We're going south now, I think. I'm at a loss again. This is what the fuck is going on? Everything's going to shit, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if any of us can fix it. By the green.
By the green, indeed. Take your hero point. Would you like to immediately expend your hero point before the session starts?
No, I think I'll hold on to it.
Okay,
It's been
good.
a while.
That seems good. That seems pretty good. I don't need to roll 2d5. Jesus, 1d5 will do it. Not if I roll can. Well, I think we're just down to Joe and Van. Yeah, we are, and Van wants to go last. So, Joe, you with us over there?
Yeah.
All right, you have the floor, sir.
Well, there's a lot of shit going on. A lot of people have joined in the halls of Valhalla. A lot of people have gone. A lot of friends, well, could be friends. I mean, we weren't the best of friends with a lot of them, actually. I kind of hated that Lamia, and I didn't know the dwarf we interacted with very well at all. But they were still friends, and it's still not good to see them go. It's become very difficult now to think about, like, what home was like, thinking about all of this. And it's just kind of become difficult to keep the darker sides of Enderling before he came here all cooped up. Now's kind of the time that Enderling's probably just trying to think about how he's going to conquer this dark side within him now, I guess. Considering he knows the thoughts of this other, like, being inside of him almost, and he knows they're not the best. There's nothing he can do about it right now, so he might as well just let it harness it, I guess. That's all.
Alrighty, fair enough. Take your hero point, and Van, the guy who missed last week, take us home.
Hey, good. Where are we? Where's the fort? Wait, where's Nira? What's going on? We were fighting and she died. She oh my God, where is she? What'd you do with her? Where's the field? Where's her body? What happened?
Pogue, she's in the wagon.
She's in the,
So how were you? What was up with you during that interstitial? How did we get you out with us?
I mean, I guess I was I don't know, I was following you, right? But I mean, she was the love of my life, I think. It's I know what you think about courtesans, and that we don't have a heart, and I'm sure that Lucia thinks halflings don't have a soul, but I do, and I was just beginning to feel love again. But you know what? Being a courtesan, that's not who I am. That's just a fucking job. It's just a fucking job. Somebody I cared about, and now she's dead. Well, let me see her. We need to strip off her gear, and we need to burn her body.
All right.
Alrighty, yeah, well freaking done, Van. You get a hero point, sir. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Francis also receives an action point for interacting during somebody's reflection. I didn't know I liked that. Didn't know I wanted it until I got it. And henceforth, if you have good interactions with role-playing and stuff in someone's in-character reflection, and good ones, mind you, not, this is my character's voice, that won't be an action point. Good stuff will definitely receive an action point. Really quickly, before we get down to the nitty-gritty, there was a bunch of stuff looted last session, 2 sessions ago, by Pogue, and I forgot what it was, because I just handed it out at the end of the session. Pogue wrote it down, I'm sure.
I did write it down.
Okay, so we can address
magic hammer, magic plate, magic belt, magic ring, magic amulet.
Okay. If you guys want to try to identify those now, you can. Because you would have had the chance to between here and there, or we can just get down to business. It's your all's call.
I'm going to stop the wagon so we can get his girlfriend's body out of it, because I've spent basically the last however many hours piling and burning bodies.
I would assume whenever we have some downtime, I would identify the items for Poe.
Can you guys make a quick perception check for me?
Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Can do.
And as you guys are doing this, Emeritus and Zol, they both wander off. Not like, oh, let's go into the haunt, haha. Not like that. But they both just kind of like, Zol is happily bouncing on Emeritus' shoulders. I fight! My voice can't handle kobolds right now. That's another reason why they're both going to just kind of wander off into what you're about to see.
Are we still in the desert?
Arid grassland turning into desert, but yeah.
I just have to, the 28. I just have to know whether or not my favorite terrain applies.
Story of favorite terrain. Did I get everybody? I did not.
Nope.
Oh, Xandu!
I'm on my way.
He's on his way! There it is. Alright, so
No, I'm not.
Xandu has a brief, actually, fun fact. If this had a kind of set DC and Xandu would have crit failed, because in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, if you roll 10 under something, it's an automatic critical fail, and the natural 20 gets cool stuff, natural 1 gets bad stuff, is becoming not a house rule, but a real rule. I'm super stoked about that, because it's the right thing to do. Anyway, Xandu
10 under, huh?
And 10 over is a critical hit. But Ennerling and Pogue and Francis, probably Lucia. Lucia is a little too enamored with all the magic stuff, I guess, and Xandu is in his own mind as usual, but you guys break the haunt, and it's kind of like, I guess, like stepping through a one-way mirror, that kind of thing. You guys aren't the only people that survive. There are definitely like a 10th of all the forces assembled are kind of like setting up like triage centers, essentially, tending to the wounded, doing all that fun stuff. You don't necessarily see anybody you recognize, but like you're definitely not the only people just hanging out in the northern part of Kadira.
You mean all the forces assembled? Like,
Yeah.
are there Taldor soldiers?
No, this is strictly your side.
Okay.
What
Enderling will
is
go out among them.
what is everyone's mood at the moment?
Well, Pogue is sad.
Besides Poe, I mean the remaining troops' morale.
They're kind of just picking up the pieces. I guess I'll say Emeritus makes his way to the closest like triage center that's being set up to help, and Zol just kind of like bounces shoulder to shoulder, like flapping over her head. It's probably awkward. There's not a lot of space there for what he's trying to do, and like Emeritus probably gets like whacked on the head by the kobold's tail once or twice, but yeah, no, it works. But the mood, everybody is like. Do you understand the phrase "a Pyrrhic victory," Donald?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's going on here.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I just helping with the triage with Emeritus.
Okay, you definitely can do so.
Are they burying the dead as well at the triage?
That is a question I haven't. Well, I mean, the answer is yes. I'm just not exactly sure how Serenites get rid of their dead.
Okay, so, I guess I want to increase my relationship, so being slightly perceived better, I would help the Serenites bury their dead in the proper manner. We don't need any dead coming back to haunt us, effectively. It sounds odd, a Asmodean saying this, but then again, I am not a Urgasaur necromancer. I mean, I am a Asmodean-ite necromancer. There's a difference, everybody.
You have a little bit of a code. Okay, so Francis' natural 20 is a heal check. Yeah, Francis is very good at what Francis does forever. It's not necessarily that everyone's great. The power of druidism has saved the day. It's not like that, but like
Plants.
I will say, Oleg's head grows back. Is what I'll say.
Yes.
So inspired by Francis's ability to like tend to the sick, and the heal check doesn't heal hit point damage, but bandage wounds, like stop people's like the stump where the arm has been cut off, like wrap it up and keep it from getting infected till someone can cure critical or regenerate that thing back. And it'll
also treat poison. I don't imagine anybody was poisoned in Warzone, but just in case.
Some of the div might. I don't know.
I have craft alchemy, so if they need someone to craft healing supplies, I can do it for the Serenite healers.
Yeah, you can. And for the record, it may not be canon. I may be screwing this all kinds up, but I'm gonna say the Serenites, they burn their dead. Big ol' funeral pyro. That seems correct for the goddess of like the sun and fire and stuff.
Cool. I partake in the helping the ritual, giving them their last rites
Okay.
before they're burned.
So what's Xandu and Enderling doing?
Oh, I was going to say what Emily was doing, but I'm just gonna go out among and find the people who have. I have some cure light wounds. People who are like missing like small body parts, I guess.
Okay.
And or not small body parts, but like ability damage. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And not even that. Not missing body parts, but if they have like a gash in their arm that would need mechanically to be healed by potions.
Okay.
I have I think I have 4. Let me check in my paper. Yeah, 4.
Alrighty, you're definitely able to do so. There's a lot of people that are really messed up. I'll say both physically and mentally, because you guys have seen a lot of
I
real
can't
bad
help them
stuff.
with that.
You definitely can't know.
I have mental problems. You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah. So what's up with Xandu?
So Xandu isn't really sure if he should be gathering herbs to help heal people, or if he should be trying to hypnotize them to help recall information.
Mm-hmm.
But I think right now, with his mindset, that the best idea to help stave off the end of the world is to minimize casualties as much as possible. He's going to focus on healing people, so he is going to go gather a variety of herbs with his profession.
Alrighty. Make a roll then.
Ah, come on.
Enderling is very, very able to brew up an ale of cure light wounds. Xandu is looking for herbs native to I don't know what, Parisia is mountainous mostly, I think, yeah. And you're in arid grassland trying to find, you're in Arizona trying to find stuff that grows in Colorado. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's probably a marijuana joke in there somewhere. But
Aloe.
Yes.
The
Alrighty.
dispensary.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys are all doing that, I'll say, who do I trust them? It's probably Pogue, not Lucia. Probably Pogue. Okay. So as Pogue, what is Pogue doing? I didn't hear from Pogue at all. I just realized.
Pogue is taking his girlfriend's body and over to a quiet place and praying over her, and he's taking off all her stuff and then burning her.
Alrighty. So let's get a quick D4 roll, would you please, Van? To see what of value we'll say she's. And there's a 4. Alright. So she definitely has a magic greatsword. She also has magic full plate. Another thing I'm looking forward to in Pathfinder 2nd Edition is when I hand out the magic items, I don't just have to make them the big 6, but for now it's a magic ring, a magic amulet, and a magic belt. Like a broken record, but
wait. So she's got a magic greatsword, magic plate,
and then belts, ring, amulet.
Okay.
So as Pogue is, and probably everybody else sees this, he's too fat and drunk most of the time, or at least acting that way, to be surreptitious. But as Pogue is dealing with the loss of his girlfriend, Mercutio kind of waddles up a little bit. You don't see his dog, but he waddles up and kind of just puts his arm around you and just, sorry that happened, kid. It's rough out there for everybody today. He looks One of his ears is kind of like the top lobe has been shorn off. He's missing a
Mhm.
little bit of hair on the other side of his head. His shirt was already very ragtag and not able to contain his mass, and it's just like buttons are gone. It's kind of just like flopping open. He seems to be unaware of how terrible he looks.
Pogue looks up at him, kind of still red eyes and a little puffy, and he's like, "She, she, she, she knew the risk. We weren't always just having good times when we took off. We talked about this. She wanted to fight as long as she was here, but her soul was tired too. She's in a better place now, I think, and I'll see her on the other side, and you know, I'll feel better fighting for what she was fighting for, knowing she'll always be with me."
I agree. I knew old Nira from the day that we recruited her into the Eagle Knights so long ago. May Caden have mercy on her soul now, Pogue, that we have come across someone who claims to know you. Will you come with me, please?
When I'm done here.
Okay. Mercutio kind of like
Okay.
he's carrying his sling lance, and he kind of just like is like it's kind of awkward because it's bigger than he is, but he puts it at like a 45-degree angle with the pointy end into the ground, which is not, it's magic. And he just kind of like rests his chin on the staff.
Right. So Pogue does his thing, but he also throws in some prayers to Callistria to help him get revenge.
Okay.
So, and then he turns around and he's like, "Okay."
Alrighty. So Mercutio leads you really, really quietly over to a it's kind of like it's not a tent, but there's definitely like there's something set up there, but not so much as like to like broadcast this is the command tent. But that's kind of the idea. It's just kind of like a couple of chairs set up behind some rocks, and somewhere there's a token. Mustafa is there, and in addition, another token who okay. There is a woman tied up on her, like down on her knees, hands behind her back, tied up. Mustafa's kind of just like glowering at her. Select that token. There we go. Everybody else is capable of like, you can like see where Mercutio and Poke are going if you want to follow them. Oh Lord, I forget her name. I just like in my last bit of prep I grabbed it, so she's gonna have a new quick Byzantine name. She is you know her. She's a lesser
Theodora.
Theodora, deal. We'll take it. And you get an action point for making sure that my keyboard doesn't clack, clack, clack all over this recording.
It's also a very Byzantine name.
It is. Yeah, it is. Her name is Theodora. She's not like, I won't say lesser noble because she's important, but she's not like cream of the crop. Her house isn't cream of the crop, but she's important enough to have, like, if she were to reach out and claim it, she would have the title of general. You get that feeling this is like the enemy's commanding officer that has been captured and tied up. The left side of her face is really, really badly burned. Like think Two-Face style, really badly burned. You know, like Pogue knows that this was an accident she suffered at a pretty young age, and she's not much older. She's probably like 30, 35 years old. It was an accident that she suffered as a child, but it doesn't take a lot of thinking on Pogue's part to realize that the reason that she's being hidden is because there's an Ifrit, or not an Ifrit, then Ifrit, excuse me, who leads the cult of the Dawnflower here, and if someone's been captured and her face has been burned in half, things are going to lead to things, and fingers are going to get pointed. At the moment, Mustafa's just kind of glowering at her.
So Pogue walks up and inspects her.
Okay.
Says, "Huh, Theodora, it's funny meeting you here. I think I had you tied up just like this last time I saw you."
She just kind of looks up, really. Make a sense motive check, actually.
I can't imagine she's happy with that.
All right. She's seen some stuff today. And so she's being pretty quiet, is what you take away from this. She doesn't say anything. She just kind of looks up at you. Her left eye is completely like, I guess that's called a cataract when it gets all super gray, but like she can't see out of her left eye. So it kind of just like hangs there dead and lazy, but with her right eye, she just kind of glowers at you.
So, what brings you here? Friends? Vacation?
She continues to say nothing. Mustafa, like, I'm actually gonna, for the sake of no reason at all, I'll move your token over. Mustafa, he like moves up next to you and he puts his, well, he would burn you if he did that, and it's really not in his like wheelhouse to like touch anybody in like a camaraderie raid, but he just kind of like comes up and, she won't talk. No matter what we do, no matter what we subject her to, she says nothing. The Empire is conspiring with Abaddon. The Empire has summoned Div to attack us. She knows why. She knows you, or so she claims. Get the information out of her, little.
So Pogue puts on his almost best charming demeanor and says, "Now, Theodora, we're all friends here. You and I were all friends. And these are my friends. Let's all be friends here. I see you're in a bad way, and I'm sure you're quite embarrassed. But we can end that. We can end that. We've just been through a bloody battle. And the love of my life was just cut in half by some monster. And I can't believe that somebody as kind-hearted and generous as you, at least last time I saw you, you were, do something like that."
Okay. Let me grab yield d20. That's probably enough to get her to. She doesn't break necessarily. She's stronger than that, and though she's not like, she's a general because she has the money. She's not necessarily like the military type, but that doesn't like make her weak either. She just kind of like, I'd say she glowers up at you, but you guys are probably at. No, she's probably still a little higher up than you. She glowers down at you, and just. It was the higher ups. They made us sacrifice our troops. We didn't want to do it, but we had no choice.
Tell me more about those higher ups.
Who do you think? These orders come down from the Emperor himself. We hear the satrap, in all of his great and mighty prestige, wouldn't go through with them. We hear that he's somewhere now in the Padishah Empire, taking his whores on a vacation away from... And she kind of like looks at Mustafa, and she's obviously a little afraid. You get the feeling that post-accident she might be just a little bit afraid of fire.
Mm-hmm.
We follow orders.
Pogue knows that, but she gets turned on by it too. So, he also knows that. So as she says that, Emperor Pogue kind of goes, but it like tries to, keep a straight face and not. But anybody looking at him would see that he's kind of gone pretty stone faced all of a sudden at the mention of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Mustafa, what else do you want to know?
He just kind of has his arms crossed across his chest, just waiting and glowering at her. You get the feeling like if he had a say in the matter, he'd probably just cut her down right now.
So Pogue turns around, looks at her again, and says, "So we know you've told me who. I really appreciate that. But why? Why are they doing this? Why now? And why in this way?"
Make another diplomacy check. Also, in a whisper, Donald makes a really good point. Anybody who has Bestow Cursed on them has it healed by people running around this camp.
Woo! Yay!
I forgot that I nuked everyone's stats.
Cool. I thank the healer for the service.
Theodora goes completely 100% stone-faced.
Well,
Zandu may go to check on Pogue, knowing that Pogue has been through something pretty rough recently.
Okay, Xandu arrives.
So-
After some time, I go to the command tent after
Lucia
doing all.
arrives.
So Pogue says to Mustafa, kind of out of the way, feed her, make her comfortable. Her guard will go down. Try again.
Okay. Make another diplomacy check. Mustafa doesn't want to do this, but he sees the wisdom in it as he kind of glowers at your direction, and Mercutio just kind of like glowers back, and for a split second he stops the like drunken merchant act that he's been putting on and goes to the commander that he actually is, and he glowers back at Mustafa, and Mustafa snaps his fingers and casts Hero's Feast all around her. Her eyes go pretty wide. She's not like unfamiliar with magic like this, but she didn't expect the treatment.
See, I told you we can be friends. There's no sense in torturing you, or you'd like that stuff anyway. So relax. Think on it. Think on what your future is. If the Emperor is out killing his armies for some bizarre reason, it won't be long once he sees you and wasting one of his armies and at the head, and you have no place to return home. We are your hope now. Enjoy your feast. Think on it.
Okay, Theodora looks up at you, looks down at you, excuse me, looks up at Mustafa, down at Mercutio, and probably at Xandu and Lucia, who've walked in. She probably,
I thought you said she was on her knees.
but you're a halfling, so she still has to look down at you, probably. I won't say that Theodora and Lucia know each other, but, well, they know of each other, certainly, probably. They've probably been at the same, cordial, noble events and galas and stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you probably recognize her face anyway.
What is her nationality for noble? I would assume my character probably would have had traveled to Geb, maybe a Nidal, and what would be in Cheliax and borders only. So if it anywhere past Cheliax, probably haven't been there or passed through it only.
Okay, she's Taldan. You can tell, her accent, her name, the color of her hair, the green and blue tabard with the white lion and the crown. Taldor is the symbol on their crown and blade across her chest. She's 150% Taldan for
sure. I see another noble in the tent here. I would recommend you to think over Poe offer. As long as you work with Mufasa and the title he have, he will help you out as long as you're willing to help him.
All right. While this is going on, Mustafa goes behind Theodora and puts thumb and pointer ropes that have her arms tied behind her back, and he just kind of snaps his finger to cast spark, and she almost jumps out of her skin as this happens. But the ropes they burn away. She's not necessarily ravenous, but she definitely she goes to the food and starts eating like someone who hasn't eaten 8 or 9 hours.
Before she does that, Poe gets in front of her and says, do we have your word? Do we have your bond? You will not try to escape. You will not try to undermine us while you are a guest.
She nods.
Xandu will detect thoughts while this is going on.
Okay.
Nice.
I heard Van try to say something too. Was there anything else there?
No, I just said nice.
Okay. Xandu can't pick up anything off of Theodora. You get the feeling it's because so many other important people throughout the Empire, she's been permanently.
Gotcha. All right. Is there anyone else's thoughts that are creating noise that I just so happen to pick up?
You'd pick up the party for sure. You'd pick up Mustafa's just kind of waiting to kill her, essentially. That's the same. Well, he would get a will save, wouldn't he? I I'm not looking at his character sheet, but I think he adds something.
So,
Says will negates in detect thoughts.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
So you don't get anything off your stuff. Never mind, I lied. I'm not sure if he adds 20, but he adds something pretty high. Not looking at
yeah,
his sheet right now.
he's not necessarily trying to pick up everyone's thoughts. He was more focusing it on her, just sort of seeing if they were surface thoughts of people in the area that he was picking up.
Okay, well, there's certainly something preventing you there from up, and Francis arrives.
There's a family show. This is a family cast, so
Okay,
we can't describe what you picked up off of.
I have too many dads now.
Seeing there's not much going to be happening in the tent, I would use one of my message cantrips to message Poe. When you have time, do come by. I would like to examine the items to see if they are of any use to us as a group. And Lucia would go back doing her priestly-ish duties, putting the dead to peace.
Okay. While this is going on, Mustafa and Crucio both kind of like exit stage left. They're not trying to hide from you, but like you're not in a tent so much as there's like a couple of chairs set up between some rocks where you have some cover, and they kind of like dip around the rocks essentially.
So, quick question, Tommy. For backstory, if I mean, I've been playing it that this way, that I know her, and there's obviously some compromising stuff and family stuff as being a courtesan, and because that's what I've been saying all along about him knowing stuff with generals, and here you go, right?
And there you go, yeah.
So he's got a pretty good understanding of Tal'Darim court, right?
I would imagine.
Okay, so he follows them out, like he wants to tell them something, or he's got questions for them.
Okay, you are free to do so.
Xandu is actually pretty hungry from the haunt, so he's gonna take a little bit of time to eat.
Okay.
Well, there's a hero's feast right here.
There really is.
I know.
Lucia would have some of the food presented, and then go back to the go back to the priestly duties afterwards. I mean, she's been in the haunt and she's hungry.
Right.
Yeah.
But she would.
Sorry, go ahead.
Poe, when you have time, how about we have a talk in my tent in camp later. I see you are in the state of grieving. It's a bad idea to be by yourself when you are grieving.
Pogue's like, lady, go ahead and check the gear, but leave my grieving to me. You're the last person that I should be spending time with.
Okay. I was just trying to be nice.
Yes, thanks for the offer. Tell me what the gear is. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So do you just want me to do one quick spellcraft for all the items?
Yeah, that's
or
fine.
just. So 22.
Okay. The plate mail, both sets of plate mail are +2 full plate, and it's Nira's sword is I'll say it's a +1 keen greatsword, and what is his name? Malik's warhammer is a +1 holy warhammer. They both had belts of physical perfection +2, amulets of natural armor +2, ring of protection +2.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait.
Magic belts or what?
Both of the belts are belts of physical perfection +2.
Dang.
And then it's a pair of amulets, a pair of amulets of natural armor +2, and a pair of rings of protection +2.
Okay. All right.
Let's divide the item up later when we have everyone.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I hear
So,
Pogue wants to
Xandu-
go. Xandu's eating. Pogue wants to go poke over with Mercutio and Mustafa. Is that right?
Right.
Everybody else's token is.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zandu's eating and cordially talking with
Her name's written on the token.
Theodora. Yes, Theodora.
She doesn't have a whole lot to say to you. She kind of looks down her nose at you. This is pretty much the normal treatment you get, not necessarily from the Chelish, but like the Seer of Varisia has a pretty big reputation. Seer of Varisia's reputation isn't good for him amongst Imperial forces.
Yeah,
So-
that is true.
Pogue turns the corner. Mustafa and Mercutio, they both definitely see you. They just kind of turn and not awkwardly look at you, but like they were getting ready to start a private conversation, and then here you are.
Well, what are we gonna do? We go into the capital. You take care of the armies. I'll take care of his ball sack. Come on.
Well, you know, if what Theodora over there says is true, if the satrap has fled to the hills, Kathir might be ripe and waiting for us to come pick it up.
I'm talking about Taldor.
You want to go straight to Opara right now? In all this, when they're summoning Div and they're feeding their own forces to Abaddon, you want to go there?
Well, how do you stop any multi-headed thing? Cut its head off.
Make a
Heads.
check
Which kind?
as the campaign quickly turns on its head.
How much time has passed, Tommy, since Enderling started working on his potions?
Perhaps an hour.
What am I checking? Diplomacy?
The social check of your choice to persuade him.
Okay.
What time of day is it, Kearney?
Perhaps like middle of the afternoon.
Okay, so unless if I need to do anything specific in the evening for the rest of the afternoon,
No, you didn't.
So close.
I'm going to continue to work on the cloak of resistance for Zandu.
Okay, understood. Yeah,
Do I have to be able? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the great sword that Nira had is size category small for sure. So for everyone else, it's 1d8. It's a long sword.
Do I have to be able to see something to give someone an action point?
Probably. I'm gonna say you have to at least like be in the same scene, and Pogue has stepped off by himself.
Oh, I can use an action point, right?
You could.
Hmm.
Well, I guess I need to break out the Taldor
Okay.
spot book.
Okay. So I'm going to roll that craft check now. I should easily beat it as long as I don't get a natural one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you beat it
yeah,
by a mile.
I beat it. So about 8 hours pass, unless if anything requires Lucia's attention. So that's like 2 more days until the item is done.
Yeah, welcome to Pathfinder. We all have to drop fucking like watch your profanity. Drop your like everything for 55 days while the wizard is crafting and the fighters just. Okay, so Mustafa, like, he just kind of like, he doesn't like glower at you. He's not upset, but he kind of like, he starts like stroking his chin in that like classic "I am thinking" face. And Mercutio kind of does the same, but with his gut. It's probably really gross, but anyway, Mercutio just kind of, well, you know, Pogue, what we could do is we could send some of you over there, see what's going on. It's been pretty quiet from the Empire, minus, you know, the vast army of evil outsiders coming to eat us and take our souls back to Abaddon. We're probably about a stone's throw from controlling this entire nation, and I have friends across the Inner Sea region. Suffice to say, this is not the only rebellion, the only fire that Taldor is putting out. But, if you'd like to go to Opara, I won't stop you. I won't stop your friends.
Why don't we put out the firemen then and let the fires of rebellion burn across the lands?
Is that what you want to do?
I have old scores to settle with the Emperor.
Okay. Well, go talk to your friends, see who's coming with you and who isn't, and then come find me. we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, Mustafa, you take your boys over in the Cult of the Dawnflower back to Kathir. And Mustafa kind of like steps off, and before his first like footfall would hit the ground, he teleports away.
So Poke says we'll need your network.
Okay. Let's see how good it is.
Tommy, I'm just curious. My apprentice, he is still in the demiplane, right? Or is he in camp?
No, he's probably here somewhere. Yeah, he
Okay,
survived. He's just kind of eating more.
Okay, I would probably talk to my apprentice, give him the gear I looted, and probably find a soldier or someone of importance that can actually begin to train my apprentice to actually give him fighter levels.
Okay, yeah, that's probably actually like actively happening. Somebody has taught him which end of the spear is the end that goes in the bad guy, and which end of the spear is the end that like you put into the ground to brace it. He
Cool.
like he's a little better with weapons. He's not the most like the most apt, I'll say, but actually really fast. Roll me some kind of dice. I'm not sure which.
What
Hang on, I'm trying to. I need to bring up.
do you
something.
need me to roll?
Tell you in just a sec. Let's see. There's a lot. Roll me a D26 if you would.
D26?
I just need alphabetical order. 23. So what is the 23rd letter? I have to do too much thinking. We'll say, and that's pretty close to the bottom of the list. Okay, so as Yarva is training
W.
I think that's the closest we can get. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so as Yarva is training, he kind of like whoa and falls over a chair, and as he does so, he like the sword he's using like flies up in the air, and you see it just like lop his left hand off. The thing about it is he seems entirely 100% unaffected by it. He doesn't even bleed. He just kind of looks at it, turns it around, turns like the stump in like every angle, looking at it really wide-eyed.
So does that mean he needs to get a prosthetic hand now?
He seems fine. He actually probably just like he goes and he picks up his sword again and he just continues practicing his forms. He's not bleeding. It doesn't even really look like there's like much of a wound there.
So both of his hands are working.
One of his hands is working. The other hand lies lopped off on the ground. He's not hurt.
Is it possible for the healers to reattach the hand?
You imagine, yeah.
Okay, I would probably order him to get his hand back attached on. You need both of your hands if you're going to be fighting properly.
All right, so you tell him this, and he's still kind of just staring dumbfounded at this stump. And a couple of healers come over to him, and they begin to put positive energy into the stump, and he pulls the stump back really fast with his head. Just, that hurt! The healers just go really wide-eyed.
I pass on my congratulations to my apprentice picking up the weapons skill relatively well, but I ask him to try a bit more harder. Such accidents like this can cost your life potentially in a battlefield. So more of a caring, but more of a overbearing mentor type of love I'm trying to give him.
Is anyone anywhere nearby this?
You probably hear him. He's not quiet. Actually, also, can Lucia make a knowledge arcana check real fast?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sure. 20.
Okay, so it strikes
Positive
you as
energy hurts.
yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. It strikes you as really weird that positive energy just hurt him. It seems to have hurt him more than the act of lopping his own hand off.
Could I figure what just happened using knowledge religion?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Roll it.
I think I know what happened.
Okay.
Plus.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, you are like 110% sure you just watched the manifestation of a sorcerer with the undead bloodline.
Cool.
He
I make
like actually I'll go even farther as like you kind of watch as like it dawns on you that, oh man, that's what this guy is, and his hand kind of just like grows back from the bone, but the skin and the muscle never manifests, and he just has this like creepy skeleton hand and probably like a couple of wrist are just like bone, and he just continues to look at it completely dumbfounded. Thing.
Okay, cool. Okay, so cool. This is something I can work with. Yarve, when you're done practicing, me and you, we need to talk about your Arcana training.
He
And
nods, still kind of
and
just like staring at his hand, like what is going on.
I will explain everything when we are back at my tent later in the evening.
Okay. He
Mhm.
he finds a little bit more food, and he like probably had it in like a belt pouch. It probably stinks a little bit, and he kind of just like picks up this questionable looking lunch meat essentially, and he goes to eat it, and he kind of just like he chews on it, spits it out.
Yarve, I got you additional.
You cut out after additional, buddy, or I cut out after you said additional. Bing.
Bing.
There it is.
Yep.
Additional what?
So I tell my apprentice to come by my tent later
He nods.
in the evening. So
He seems a little more concerned now that like food no longer tastes good. He's actively digging out like all 5 food groups from this questionable pack and just like eating them and just like spitting them out. This is bad now.
Would I figure this out? Potentially, this is some side effect of the undead bloodline.
You can extrapolate, yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's a good thing that I can actually begin to heal him a bit now.
Yeah.
So I go back to my tent.
Okay.
Luthia is quite.
You probably
quite
don't necessarily
impressive.
have your own tent so much as like a spot on the ground that isn't unless you have bought your own tent, like a spot on the ground somewhere.
I would had a tent in my backpack, so just a small 1-person size tent.
No, fair enough. Okay, you have your own tent. Most people don't. Congratulations.
So I undead bloodline. That is awesome. Awesome. I thought it was going to be a elemental bloodline, but that is something I can work with.
So it's
So Zandu, when he's done eating, wants to talk to Mercutio.
Okay. You're able to do so. As long as you don't take like forever in a day to eat, you can probably get there around the time that Pogue is still there.
Okay, he's not necessarily looking to talk with him and Pogue at the same time, but
Okay.
it doesn't really matter
But
one way or
Pogue's
the
had
other.
his say, and he goes back to eat anyway. So
Well, never mind.
So Zandu will approach Mercutio and Mercutio, I have a favor to ask.
Go for it.
The demiplane, is it possible that you could get me back there?
I don't see why not. Why would you need to go there? Your friend seems to think that all of you need to go straight into the butthole of the Empire to see what they're doing and get yourselves killed by a bunch of divs and stuff. But if you'd like to go somewhere safe, I can't say no to that.
the butthole is where the head of the Empire is.
Ah. Mercutio doesn't have a whole lot of connections in Taldor anymore. You get the feeling that like when hostilities officially like became official, a lot of them had to go underground or came here.
Okay.
So, well, you see, my daughter is still there, and I think somehow she might be mixed up in all of this. I think I have a way that I would be able to get some information from her.
He just kind of like, you bring up your daughter and his face gets a little like, his brows furl. He looks even like fatter as he kind of like comes in on himself and like scrooches forward a little bit, and his gut kind of like projects forward and down. It's clearly a pain point for him that there is a child that's been caught in all this, or he's constipated, I guess, based on that leaning. But
A little bit of both.
a little bit of both, a bit of this, bit of that.
It's been a stressful day.
It has.
You mentioned children, and he has to poop.
That sounds more like an Enderling thing, though.
Mercutio leads Xandu without another word over to the nearest arcane caster who's not a member of the party, and a portal is opened to the demiplane.
Xandu will say, send my regards to the others. I should be along with them shortly.
He nods.
You'll step through.
Alrighty, you're there. I guess it's kind of not easy to miss a portal opening up in the middle of the camp. There's probably a lot of people react to it, so if anybody else wants to go too. Like
To where? Where are we going?
He's going back to Mustafa's demiplane.
Oh, there. Yeah, sure.
All
I
right.
don't know. I imagine I'm done brewing by now.
You probably are, yeah. Anybody else?
I would assume my horse and carriage is back in the demiplane. Am I correct?
It's probably not the safest place to store that horse, but
Yeah.
They're somewhere safe. They magically appear right here. Yeah, we'll say that because
Oh, okay.
I don't think
cool.
the head of the Cult of the Dawnflower is gonna want a zombie horse hanging out in his backyard.
Yeah, true. I'm
Zombie.
just thinking. I'm thinking. It's been a long time. I assume my horse is either dead or dead.
It's dead. Yeah, that's for sure. The skeletal
Okay,
horse
so-
remains dead.
Okay. I command my horse to come to my tent-ish area and make my. So yeah, I have my own little domain in the tent in the camp area for the time being, which people would have
dig
an awkward look having a carriage next to a tent next to my carriage next to a tent.
Yeah, you've got the opulence for sure, and like all these like Serenite warriors pass by your horse, and they like instinctively draw scimitars, then realize that they can't.
My horse would be.
Oh
Would
yeah,
look
you
like,
have that thing on it. Yeah, never
Yeah,
mind.
it
Okay.
would look like a normal horse. It just
A
be-
horse!
No, they're
I
all
would
goblins
assume,
now.
I would assume my horse would just give some of the Serenites a dumb look.
One
what
of the
are you
Serenites
doing?
figures out that it's a zombie because he rolls a natural 20 on. I think there's a sense motive check involved.
My horse, it technically it is a skeleton, not a zombie, so there's a difference.
Oh, okay. Well, it recognizes the skeleton then. I'm sorry, and it draws its scimitar, and he's wait, I can't do this. You guys are it's awkward, and he puts a scimitar away and he runs. But okay, so we've got Xandu, we've got Ennerling going back to the demiplane. Pogue, Francis. What did you want?
Pogue looks at Francis and grabs his sleeve and is like, "Come on, Woody, let's go."
All right. Yeah, Francis is basically that entire time was just sat down at that table eating.
Mm,
He spent the last 20 years in the woods, and his table manners aren't anything to write home about.
I understand completely.
Or they are.
So it's it was
Dear
he
Mom.
came
Saw
straight
this
here.
old man, ate with his hands, got food in his beard.
I thought it's a
Francis
little
is a
worse than that,
scary
'cause he came
table
here
partner.
straight from triage.
Yeah,
So he's covered in
Covered
sweat and
in
dirt and a
blood.
mixture of blood that isn't and is his.
yeah.
You said triage, and I immediately thought of it like you were making a druid pun.
Or he was coming out of like tree
That's
shape.
a good
Yeah.
one.
Came here straight from triage.
Man, am I
I-
really tired.
I nominate Joe for that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
word.
Action point for Joe.
All right, awesome.
All right, so Pogue and Ennerling and Xandu. Anybody else? Francis was going.
Yeah, I don't even know what was going on in this tent before I got here.
Lots of bad.
I came in and people were eating.
Yeah.
He sits down, he's about to
Francis
put a
is everyone.
drumstick in his mouth, and like, come on.
Oh, come on, I was just. Oh.
Francis never wanted to miss out on a meal.
Donald, you
That's
coming with him?
intent.
I put like my entire hand into
Sure,
potatoes
sure.
and take it with me.
Ugh,
Sure,
I
sure.
love it.
I would have.
Put some
have-
in your pocket.
I would have some food, and then eventually go back to working on the item.
But do you want to go to the demiplane, though? Is what I'm asking. Because that's where the rest of the party is going, and I don't want to just like, okay, they went. We never asked Donald. Haha.
It's
Sure,
not cut.
sure. Why not? So, how many hours would you say passed up to the point?
Oh yeah, there's something going on there.
I haven't been on this map since the 1v1. I don't even remember.
Tommy,
What is this drawing? Oh, that's the
I-
basic layout of the blue
uh,
kobold. Okay.
Helicopter.
Tommy, so how much time would you say passed up to the portal? I'm just tracking the item making time.
Like 3 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, you guys arrive in the demiplane. It is mostly quiet, except for the apparent helicopter that's just flying over the oasis. What is the red thing? I didn't draw that. Who drew that? No. Okay, so it's pretty empty still. Francis's family is still just actively tilling the fields. They don't notice you because you guys probably come in like here, I'll say, up towards Mustafa's tent, and they're like on these terraces that have been converted into farms.
How long? I might have to look it up again. But how long does the plant growth last when you use it to grow crops?
That's a wonderful question that I don't have the answer to.
I suppose I'll go check that then.
Zandu will immediately start heading towards the Blue Kobold Emporium, and when he gets there, he'll knock on the door.
Okay.
Enderling will follow.
I would follow along.
It looks
As
like
will Pogue.
the effect that targets plants, blah, 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 it raises their potential productivity over the course of the next year to 1/3. So it's probably like the 2 cacti that were hanging out are now like a below average field, I guess. But there's a lot of it.
They're budding like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
All
Alright, so everyone who isn't Kane has made their way to the Blue Kobold. And the person who needs to play this NPC is out sick today. I will do my best. You open the door, and everybody who... well, Xandu definitely recognizes Arendelle, but everybody else sees... make a perception check.
Everyone sees me use my hero point.
Everybody sees Captain Chaos get mad. Alright, you guys all see... I'm really good at not writing down my descriptions, so it may be a little different from the one-on-one, but it's a little kind of like a little stuffed koala that's been really patched together. As the door opens and the ting of the bell goes off, it kind of scrambles its way up a counter to stand on the front desk. Just, welcome to the Blue Kobold Emporium. We're here to help you. Hi, Xandu. And it waves this really floppy stuffed koala arm really hard, and probably the whole top of its body kind of blah, blah, blah around.
Tommy, do I know what type of creature this is?
You need to check.
I'm thinking knowledge arcana or nature would work.
That would work, yeah. Knowledge arcana is fine. Enderling knows what it is, but I'm waiting to see Donald roll. Alright, both of you, especially, maybe not especially Enderling, because Enderling is an alchemist, but he's a... The nature of Enderling's alchemy is weird. But both of you recognize a homunculus when you see it. A homunculus is essentially it's just a little artificial life form that somebody puts a bit of their soul into to give life.
This interests Lucia, especially being a adorable animal as well. Nice to. Hello, my name is Lucia. What is yours? And I go up to shake the koala hand.
Alright, you shake its hand and it kind of hugs your forearm. It's, hi, I'm Arendelle. You need to check on Emmy, Xandu. She's downstairs. She hasn't got up yet. She's very tired. The grandpas have been very mean to her.
Wait, wasn't Arendelle
The who?
The grandpas, the great old ones. We talked about this. I don't know why a grandpa would do that, though.
Zandu will nod and ask, so it was Arendelle and Erendil, yes?
Pronounce the A, it's the koala. Pronounce the
Yes.
E, it's the alchemist.
So, is Erendil back yet?
He's not. Have you seen him? I'm lonely.
Not since we were teleported out of here.
Oh.
So
And he kind of Arendelle kind of slumps really hard forward as you say this.
Hey, Tommy, quick question. When we were in the battlefield at Fort Logos, did we found his body or was he missing in action?
You didn't find him. you assume he was probably just back at the camp being secretive somewhere. You probably didn't even see him in the first place when he showed up, Zandu. Yeah, no, because the sandstorm. But what I will say is everybody who isn't Zandu, because Zandu knows this, they walk in and it's just like wall to wall with all of the arcane goodness you could ever ask for, like the like really tacky looking like Wallow posters that you would find at like a record store or like at Walmart where you can like flip through and that big plastic thing is just like the whole time, just wall to wall scrolls, wall to wall potions, stuff to enchant things, stuff that like probably some like magic weapons that are like in the process of being enchanted that are just kind of like sitting on display. There is. This is actually relevant now. Again, you guys are like right here on the helicopter. There's stairs going down here.
This shop interests Lucia, especially the items. I would assume these items are pretty powerful, so they're very powerful. This would intrigue Lucia. So, who is the item maker, and what is his potential at making items? This interests Lucia mostly from an academic and from a wizard point of view.
Okay.
So, would a spellcraft function? Would the spellcraft will work to figure these items out?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so 39.
Okay, yeah, they are everything from like a potion of cure minor wounds to a potion of heal and back again. Pretty much whatever it is you wanted, essentially, in the terms of enchanting and disenchanting, all just kind of lay about the place. And yeah, you can take the +1 off of full plate and put it on like a little tiny chainmail for
okay.
fan. But yeah, it's everything, and it was made by somebody who definitely knows what they're doing. You also see like as you peruse the Wallow scrolls, everything is there. Every like arcane spell, divine spell, psychic spell, whatever it is, like from those 3 schools, it's all hanging out there.
Okay, whoever this is, Lucia want to meet them, so she can meet a familiar mind at least.
Understood.
I mean, she's not really fangirling, but she's a giddy fan of someone who's very good. Want to meet them so they can trade notes.
Sure.
So
can you make a quick knowledge local check, actually?
Bing.
Bing! There he is. Okay, so you walked in and there's a like one of them like old tavern signs hanging out the front, and there's a blue kobold emblazoned over a coat of arms, and it's like the awkward like stretched text above it in like a upside down U shape says blue. It says Emporium. You've heard of this shop before? It doesn't like the finer details escape you. It's probably just like one of the bajillion little like cantrip shops one could stumble upon in Igorian, but like you've definitely heard the name before.
So Zandu has probably already made his way downstairs by now.
That's fair.
He's gonna have message going for as long as he can, putting the message on repeat that he will be entering the mindscape along with her relatively shortly, and he will also make sure to use her original name, Ayaki Kayomi, so that she is aware that the person sending this message is an ally.
Okay.
Because not everybody would know that.
Okay, make those percentage dice.
All right. Oh, baby.
You're sure it got through. You're sure it got through in 1. It's just like you start saying it. She doesn't like stir in her sleep. She remains like peacefully sleeping in the like the bed that had been put where there used to be a cell to experiment on people. But like you got there. You are 100% sure the message got through.
Zandu will briefly head upstairs, tell the others that he is about to enter her mindscape, so they should they choose to follow, there will be a door, but they are under no obligation to whatsoever.
Okay.
And he will head back downstairs.
Alrighty. So you approach the door, and the door, as you get down to the bottom, it opens for you before you reach it, and as you cross through, it shuts.
Cross through what?
Like cross the threshold, into the room where Emmy is. It just behind you.
Oh, that door, not the door I was about to cast.
Yeah, it's relevant to know that the door is opening, shutting immediately after. And there's still a lot of sketchy stuff laying around down here. There's the snow that was once a sand giant is still hanging out. The exploded remains of that noble, they're still there. It probably smells a little.
Oh, I thought he cleaned that up.
Did he? I don't remember. Did I say he did?
Yeah.
Okay, then he did. Never mind. That
He
never
cleaned up
happened.
the cell to make it pleasant, did prestidigitation to make it smell nice and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now. This is what happens when you improv most of the time.
So the door does shut behind me.
It does, yeah. And you can hear a bunch of locks click in place as well.
Xandu will first of all detect thoughts to see if there's anyone else in the room.
Okay. There
besides
is
him and Emmy.
You and Emmy, that's it. Well, actually, let's be a little more. Yeah, okay, never mind. The 6 on the percentage dice. It's you and Emmy. We tried.
So he will cast protection from evil on her.
Okay.
And then he will cast Mindscape Door.
Okay.
There's the text for it. It's a big wall, I know.
It is a big wall. I'm pretty familiar with this. I play a Mesmerist on Saturdays.
Okay.
Does Emmy receive a will save? She does. Okay.
It's only if she wants to negate it, though.
Right.
Which is the whole point behind sending the message beforehand.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say something resists you when you try to cast it. The a little crack in. Well, our Mindscape door is visible. They're not, are they? They exist in the astral. Isn't that right?
No, they are visible. It's an illusion, though.
So it kind of it cracks forward a little bit, and it begins shaking on both ends that are trying to open. It tries to resist something, but it won't be as powerful, I'll say, because you were able to get a hold of Emmy. So we'll add this instead of what we normally add. We'll add this.
And that's a DC 21 as well.
21? Okay. All right, yeah, you get there. You just barely... it's a great deal of effort on your part, on, you assume, Emmy's part, but you're able to get the Mindscape door open.
Okay, seeing that there's something actively resisting it, Xandu is not going to waste time going through.
All right, understood. You enter the Mindscape. Your body probably just kind of slumps back into whatever it is there to catch you. I imagine you're smart enough to not just on the floor and knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Well, no. When you're in a Mindscape, you're just flat-footed. It's not the dimension. You probably just stand there and zone out as you are wont to do. All right. Roll me a perception check. We'll go that way.
Perception check. All right. Hold up. Nope.
All right. You're in a place with some grass. Naturally, it doesn't. What was that, a 2 for you? That's a 4. Okay. There's some grass. There's a hill that gently rolls up into a pretty large oak tree, but that's all you see. Just grass, hill, oak tree, blue sky, expansiveness. That's it. You like The Legend of Zelda. Did you play Majora's Mask?
I've played part of it, but not all of it.
Colin. It's good. You should play it. I was gonna say it looks like the last boss room. Not to dun 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 at you, but the last boss room in Majora's Mask, like that.
Okay, gotcha. All right. This spell, doesn't it take me to where the creature whose mindscape it is? Doesn't it take me to where they are?
It should, but it hasn't.
It should, but it hasn't.
You don't see anybody here.
So Zandu will start listening for anything in Aklo.
Okay.
Listen for any sounds that might be of that language, because he actually has that language now.
It's a good language to have.
Yes.
I'll make another perception check if you would.
All right. Hopefully this one's better.
Better than that natural 4. Oh, yeah, you got 2 better. There's still a tree. There's still some grass. Nobody's speaking in. It's actually like really awkwardly quiet.
What sort of options do I have here?
Are you asking me?
I'm thinking for myself.
Okay.
So Zandu, I suppose, will cast invisibility on himself and then start wandering around looking for any sign of something.
Alrighty. Let's have your roll presented. Your perception foo is weak. That's considerably better. He rolled a 35. I don't know why he rolled it privately, but it's probably because that's the macro. Okay, so you begin to move like around this mindscape, and as you do so, it's awkward because you cast invisibility because you can't see you, but like you begin to feel really queasy, but the queasiness comes in like short bursts. Like it's there, then it's not. This there. It's not that it's there, then it's not. You don't find anybody, but like you start feeling pretty bad.
So I suppose what he'll do is he'll cast protection from evil on himself as well.
Okay.
See if that helps.
The spell resolves, but nothing really changes.
The spell resolves, but nothing changes, huh? At this point, Zandu will he'll let down his invisibility and he will start calling out for her actively.
Okay, make a perception.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. D20 plus 4, and you got a 20. Okay, yeah, it doesn't take much. The invisibility ends, and not to say we're playing like, well, if we're playing Call of Duty, you see your hands anyway. But if this was a first-person shooter, you would see your hands appear, or Skyrim, I guess, is better. And like as you appear, your hands are like actively blinking in and out. You look down, and it's the same for like your entire body. 1 second you're there, 1 second you're not, and it's like the seconds that you're not are the seconds that you're queen.
And do I get anything from calling out?
You do not.
I do not, huh? Let's think. Sense motive to figure out.
Yeah, go for it.
Why, in her mind, I might not be finding her. Oh man.
Natural, well, not natural 11 total. What is the natural? I'm curious. Is it a 10? It's an 8. Okay. Teenage girls are weird, I'll say, is what that sense motive gives you.
Nice.
As you begin to ponder why this might be happening, and you the duration in which you seem to not be existing begins to get longer and longer and longer. Each time you blink out, it might be like another second before you come back in. And while you're gone, like you feel like it goes from like I have a little tummy ache to like you start feeling really like make a fort save, Queasy. And yeah, make a fort save if you would. I just kind of stumbled into that, but we'll take it. Okay.
You start feeling like you need to roll a fort save.
You feel like you need to find your dice, and now you are sickened.
If it's mind affecting, that's a +10 to that.
Oh, yes, it is. Well, you're still sickened.
Okay.
Mind affecting fortitude save. Brain attack!
I mean, he's playing a psychic caster. It's not unheard of.
And I'm in a psychic world
Psychic
essentially right
land.
now.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're sickened. You probably even kind of like throw up a little on yourself, and it's awkward because like the bile and blood and all this gross stuff that comes out, it too disappears in and out, even as it like falls onto the grass.
Possibly detect thoughts to find if there's anything in the area, because it wouldn't work on Emmy, but it might work on something else that could be there.
Okay. Probably I might. What do I need to beat? Does 25 beat it?
Yeah, 25 definitely beats it.
Okay, so you don't get anything. Well, actually, you probably get like a little like your like psychic senses hit a wall essentially, and you kind of like ping your finger off the wall, and then suddenly you don't do anything again. Ugh.
That's weird.
And you continue to feel really bad.
All right, this blinking, do I feel like it's pulling me out of here?
Make a check.
All right. $21
knowledge arcana. It's not necessarily pulling you out, but it's more like I guess while you're trying to pick your brain about why this is happening, it kind of dawns on you that you should probably go, because like you start being like non-existent for like 30 seconds at a time, and you feel really bad and your head starts to hurt, and like as you make another fortitude save, it becomes really hard to like even keep all the memories of what you're doing and why you're here and those kind of things together. It just becomes a blur of you feel bad. A 31 will pass. Yeah, you don't go any further, but like the knowledge arcana check gives you there's definitely like there's some red flags popping up that could be really bad for you.
All right. I guess Xandu will do Mindscape door again and pop out.
Okay, so as you leave and you return to the basement of the Blue Kobold, you feel instantly better. Your body stops flickering, you are no longer sickened, your head stops hurting, and you remember exactly what was going on. Emmy continues to just sleep peacefully.
Interesting. So that's some spooky stuff.
There's some spooky stuff.
Probably not caused by her. Probably. I don't really know for sure. So, you know what? I think Xandu will... well, can I get through the door that closed itself? That's the question. That's what he's going to try to do first.
Yeah, you walk up to the door, and the door like rapidly unlocks itself and opens.
Huh. So Xandu will sit there, and he will try a divination spell.
Okay.
to see if
Everybody
he
would
can
hear
figure-
this door open, by the way.
Yeah.
Open, close,
Then
and violently lock itself, and then violently unlock it. Open again.
Xandu probably goes upstairs first
Okay.
and sort of sits by the door to the exit.
Okay. Arendelle just kind of like sees you come and just, "Hi, Xandu! How's Emmy doing? Is she awake yet?"
Unfortunately, not, my friend. But
Aww.
While Xandu was down there, I would be playing with the cute Crawler. You're so adorable. How did your master make you? I'm curious about you, and I ask like 20 questions, getting to know this creature.
Well, it's very happy to play for sure. It like a toddler that just got out of timeout, almost just kind of just bouncing around, and
This
it
is
tries to
probably-
answer your questions to the best of its ability. Most is just, I don't know. One day I just kind of was, and here I am. It's complicated.
I would imagine this would be the first Somosian, or what the creature is called, Lucia ever seen.
The first homunculus.
Yeah, you'll probably be the
Probably.
first.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean-
you're a rich lady from a rich magic
Probably
house.
seen a few others.
It's
her
probably the
time
first one
there.
that you've ever seen that wasn't just like a bundle of clay with an eye awkwardly like in the middle.
True. So yeah, Lucia is having fun playing with a adorable animal. Think whatever you may think of her.
Fair enough.
so Zandu's gonna try his divination magic, see if that gets him anything. I gotta toss that up there.
Okay. Perfect divination. I like how you've...
Yes.
Okay, so what exactly are we trying to get out of this?
So what Zandu is trying to get out of it is how he can protect Emmy from whatever is going on inside of her head right now, because that's obviously some dangerous stuff.
Okay. And I answer this in not yes, no, or maybe. I answer this in like sentences. Is that correct?
Or a cryptic rhyme.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give it to you in an O, because I don't think I have any cryptic rhymes in the back pocket. But you like in a brief flash of insight, you see as you're like wander around shouting Emmy's name throughout this mindscape, your body just continues to blink until eventually you kind of just like fall to your knees, holding your head, holding your stomach, and the blinking continues and continues and stretches on until you eventually just cease to exist.
But that doesn't tell me anything about how I could
From-
protect her.
From the omen, because you have a 100% success rate on interpreting it, you think the best course of action is to not do what you just did again, at least until you are a lot more powerful.
Basically, don't do that.
Yeah,
Slap on the wrist. Don't do that.
yeah.
You will die.
You will cease to exist. Step it. I should have just done it that way, like some like possessed hand thing floats out from like one of the shelves. Just no, don't do that, and then flies back to the shelf. Maybe if it was like
Tommy,
Mal playing a psychic caster.
Yeah, I was gonna say simple, effective, strange.
Tommy, I'm just curious. When we did enter the shop, did we see which way Mufasa went?
He's not here. He is you don't know. Pogue knows that he's gone to like assemble the rest of his men and continue the assault on Kathir. But like you would have no idea. You were too busy watching your apprentice cut his hand off and discover he has connection to the undead.
Yep. Metagame. I'm just thinking, what spells can I have my apprentice learn?
That's not necessarily metagaming. You literally write them down in a book, so...
Yeah, true. It's going to be fun to figure out what spells he can learn, so I can actually take him on adventures.
Yeah, it would be sweet. So what are we doing, team?
When Francis finally shows up.
Francis has been here probably for a little while, yeah. Francis walks in and there's a weird stuffed koala, like, being, like, flung through the air by Lucia, and he just, wee! Hi, welcome to the Blue
Zandu,
Kobold Emporium!
Hi.
Oleg probably just Studio Ghibli is really, really loud. It probably just like runs over to like join the koala together.
Yep. You go play now, son.
Oh, I would imagine I would have my familiar with me, and he would just be in a corner somewhere, just pouting.
Sulking.
You,
Yeah.
Arundel
It's a good
sees
thing
your
Enderling doesn't
familiar.
have his familiar, just like a pig crawls out of Enderling's stomach.
Just blah, 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 blah. Arundel sees the raven. I forgot the raven was here.
Yeah, my Raven, he is in a corner, being all emo like.
He like Arendel's eyes kind of like it's awkward because they don't really their eyes, it perceives the world through them, but they kind of like go real wide for a second. Just imps aren't very nice. Why are you hanging out with an imp?
He have certain benefits that I like. It's a more of a mutual beneficial relationship at the very least.
Oh, okay.
She's
And he
hanging out with
continues
an imp
playing.
because she's not very nice.
No, you're a lying little person.
I get to use the imp, and the imp get to enjoy a vacation from a terrible place.
Yeah, vacations.
It's a win-win situation. The imp doesn't get to have a terrible overlord to obey all the time, and you get to have a nice vacation away from there.
I think you're the best overlord, lady. And just
Thank
continues, like, playing
you,
around.
thank you, thank
Sarah's
you.
gonna be so pissed when she realizes that she's like sick through this.
Yeah.
You know what I did for 3 hours? I played your NPC. Thanks.
Xandu is very quick to sort of step out, and he just sort of leans up against his back up against the wall and slides down and puts his hand in his head and starts fighting back tears for a while.
Okay.
Enderling is going to leave the shop.
All right. You
Realizing that there's nothing here for him, he's going to go to well, he's going to go home,
All right.
which has
Gotcha.
been transplanted here.
Okay. All right. You. So do you react to Xandu at all?
Like Xandu coming up.
Xandu, like you leave the Emporium and Xandu's like slumped up against the building, sobbing.
Oh.
Poke will follow his finger
Nope.
out.
I would probably if everyone is going back
Enderling
to
probably I don't know, maybe put like my arm around him and be like, come with me, we will get a drink. Do you like drinks?
Xandu will nod and follow quietly.
Is that the whole party going?
yeah,
Yeah.
I everyone go to the bar.
Back to Fafnir's envy. Okay, so you guys all go to leave, and Arundel kind of. It can't really. Oh, it can. It can portray emotion just because it gets this real like sad frown and just kind of like crawls back up to the top of the desk and just. Bye. Remember to choose the Blue Kobold Emporium for all your magic needs.
I have one item that I bought but didn't get to give to Poe. I actually gave the Homunculus a hat that was designed for Poe, but I give it to the koala. So he have a very nice formal hat now.
Okay, the hat is non-magical.
Yeah, it's just a normal hat.
Okay, got it. Is it like sized for Pogue?
Yeah, it
Okay.
just he have a very nice hat.
A very nice
So
hat that he can live in because he's just the size of he's size category tiny. So he just probably I got a new place to sleep. Whee! And like pulls it over.
Yeah,
And the hat probably like moves around awkwardly on the floor as if you
this is a
covered like a
nice
house cat.
this is a very nice top hat made out of silk with
Lovely.
inside silk lining. So he have a nice comfortable seat at the
It's
very
like a
least.
hard sleeping bag.
Yeah. Understood. All right, so you make your way to Fafnir's Envy. The Envy's probably not too terribly far from here. We'll say it takes like half an hour to get there. The door is open, but nobody appears to be there. It's much the same as when Xandu was here the last time. Drinks are just kind of like laying out half drunk on the table, and you get the feeling it's been just kind of serve yourself for a long time. Of course, the door to the employees only section is still shut.
Enderling will begin. He'll get drinks for everyone as requested.
Okay.
And then he'll begin cleaning up the bar. Yeah.
That profession
Nice.
brewer check is
That's
more than
pretty
good
good.
enough to clean a bar and provide drinks for the thirsty.
What's everybody drinking?
Natural when he starts passing out his bombs.
Stout, of course.
Okay, I ask for a very nice bourbon, and I order a light, what would be a ale for my familiar to drink?
2 ales, check.
Xandu requests a couple different. He requests a strong drink that's traditional to Varizia, if it is available. If not, a strong clear liquor will do.
It certainly could be available. I'm not necessarily gonna it's there, haha, because it's not really up to me. But like Varizia and the lands of the Lenorm are, especially even like Grungir Forest is on the southern border.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Probably just vodka, though.
yeah.
I would imagine seeing a bird drunk would be entertaining at the very least.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There was a really bad
Yeah.
show on Adult Swim for a long time called Drinky Crow, and I never watched it, but now I wish I had. The
Okay,
frame
so
of
I would
reference.
I would imagine when the imp get more drunker, they are technically immune to poison imps, but the imp would begin to be more meaner to Lucia, and Lucia just play the coy mean game to the imp back. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. And I would say a nice infernal-ish insult back.
Fair enough. Well, if your imp is well and truly immune to poison, that means it can't get drunk. So it's like this is all it's being super funk at you right now.
Yeah, I would assume it technically say imps can't get drunk, but I would assume
It can get placeboed, certainly.
yeah, I would assume it's just a placebo effect the imp would be experienced at the very least.
All right.
Thinking back to my time in the woods, just what I know perhaps it's par firm to ask for this in a bar, but you have tea.
1 ale, coming up.
All right, fine. I changed my mind. I'll take whatever's closest to moonshine.
Vodka, coming up.
There we
That
go.
went to the other side really fast.
A stout and a shot of plum brandy.
Okay, 2 ales and a vodka, coming up.
Tommy, I'm never going to let you live it down. That's like call me a nice overlord.
I'm trying to play it true to how the character would play it. She's presently
True.
sick. She's gonna be so mad. Oh well. It just
Once
means she has
that's
to
all
watch.
done with, Enderling's going to check the employees only section.
Okay. You go back there. The door is it's certainly locked, but you would have a key. Your mom is
I also
still
have disabled device.
also, yeah. If you just can't find the key, you need to pick it. Your mother is still back there. Your mother's still just, and this is the part where my chair, much like Adam's chair in Rune, is super loud. Now I can't get my chair to make noise. This continues to like rock back and forth, very near catatonia, staring off into space. Are you trying to like hide that from the rest of the party? I should ask.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, then everybody make a perception check versus Enderling.
I was gonna say I'm waiting for Enderling to leave.
Enderling's something. Enderling's, I don't even know.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Xandu's
boy.
aware. Xandu knows there's something. Xandu probably feels a little bit of the aura of someone who's seen some stuff.
Sandu knows everything.
I'll say he usually does. I don't think it should be a sleight of hand. Well, I have a character sheet sitting right next to me. Let's have Emeritus be helpful today. Let's say
Spellcraft.
Yeah.
Sneak.
Perhaps
I don't
a
know.
stealth check would be fine. Yeah. Alrighty, who is not aware? Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm just
Lucia.
like-
It's just Lucia who's too busy binging. Who's too busy like teasing her imp. Everybody else is like they hear the door open and Xandu feels the presence.
But Enderling got a 17. Everybody beat him.
Except for Lucia, who got a. Did you not get a 15?
25? She got a 25?
Yeah,
She got
Her
25.
imp got the 10.
Okay. So your imp's too busy being an asshole. So everyone's
Yeah.
No, the imp,
yeah.
the
If
imp's the one who got the 15.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
got
so-
25. Because-
Lucia a 15, Imp 25, but my Imp, he being a complete prick, so he's not going to investigate it.
Got it. Then everybody but Lucia is aware that something's going down.
Everybody just opens up the door quickly and steps in, then closes the door. That's all.
Okay.
All right. As soon as Enderling's gone, he looks at Pogue's stout and the plum brandy and my moonshine and Xandu's Varisian ale. It's kind of
It's
a shitty
vodka.
bar, isn't it?
I'll say real quick while people are formulating, Pogue can probably pick up that there's something going on there.
Yeah.
He's stepped into the back to be secretive. You're not sure why.
Okay.
You know, didn't I get something from the one shot about?
Oh, yes,
Uh,
yes, you did. You know there's something going on with Enderling's mom, and in Erendil's opinion, if they would just make an illusion of the poor woman's daughter, she'd be fine, but they refuse to.
Yep. So Xandu will continue to sip his drink and get one ready for Enderling as well.
Okay.
Where is he going, you think?
Yeah.
Open question to the room.
Open question to people who look like they might have a clue.
I
Such as
have
Xandu and Pogue.
No, all Pogue knows is he's gone into the other room for some reason to be secretive. That's for that I could have done with the Nat 1. I mean, seriously.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Xandu sort of looks at everyone and goes, "It's none of our business," and he leaves it be.
It is not my place to investigate other people's private business. Usually it causes more drama than it is worth at times.
But Xandu does have a drink ready for Enderling should he want it.
Well, if nobody's going to harass Enderling, what's up with that?
Well, I silently think that everybody here is so tipsy-toy around it because Enderling can beat us all to death.
True.
No, actually, Pogue is stinging a little bit from Enderling's rebuke last time when they went down in the cave. So he's still kind of like, yeah, whatever. Go be secretive. He's not afraid of him. He's just like, whatever.
Okay, so
Enderling's doing a checkup to make sure everything is all right.
okay. As far as the status quo goes, yeah, it seems to be all right for what it is. I'll say it's normal for how it's been. It's normal as long as you would remember. She doesn't seem to be suffering any more than usual. She has there's a little bit of food and a little bit of water sitting right next to her, and occasionally she will eat and drink. She's not in danger of dying from starvation, but it's it's more of the same.
Okay. I'm just gonna make a quick. I don't know. I'll do Arcana check, see if there's anything I can do. Just passively, I guess. Just thinking to myself, I guess.
I'll say since you've been gone, no, since you've been gone from the envy and getting stronger, you know that there might be somebody within your group of friends, but particularly Xandu, who might be able to help more than you, because this seems to be an affliction of the mind. Not really unlike what was back during the snowstorm. As far as you go, you know a lot of powerful healers have cycled throughout this bar in your life over your years. No one's really like figured it out. But they've also been like traditional healers. There haven't been like I won't say faith healers. That's wrong, but that feels the most correct to describe a psychic caster. But,
Throwing snakes at her and shit.
yeah,
There's
pretty much.
Be healed.
there is something called faith healing, which is a psychic ability. So
Yeah, well,
yes.
there you go. All right, I'm in the right.
The
Congratulations.
power of Jesus Christ.
I think I actually still have a use of it for this day.
Cool.
I am just thinking now, Yarbe have undead bloodline, Lucia the necromancer, and with the undead I'm going to make, I'm going to have myself an undead party.
You did it.
Hooray!
Whee!
Doesn't even need us anymore.
Nope.
This party's dead until Lucia gets there, right?
Nice.
Can you guys hear my cat purring through this mic?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh wow, I can hear. Go noise gate. That's a good noise gate on Obi. Because my cat is purring up a storm right now. I can hear it through my headphones. That's starting to really
Alright.
creep me out. I gotta take a headphone out.
Okay, so
It's weird.
so what are we doing? Enderling's disappeared. We're sitting there getting drunk, and Pogue's making fun of him. And Now
Xander
what?
probably chastises Pogue for making fun of Enderling.
for what? I'm a big, strong guy. I beat you up if you make fun of me. He can take care of himself. But fine, whatever.
Xandu sits back down, returns to his drink.
If he wants help, he'll ask for it.
In cases like this, people usually ask for help if they need it. It's usually do more harm forcing your help upon another that doesn't need it.
Well, it's not even about need. You can't help something doesn't want helping.
How do we know he's in there doing something that needs helping or not versus something that's there to just screw us over again?
Oh, he could be in there rubbing one out. I'm not really up to knock.
Yeah, and he comes out a giant,
Oh.
tries to take our head off again.
I don't see any Ouroboros around here, do you?
He still has one on him, right?
He clawed that out of his own will.
It didn't go away when he clawed it off.
No,
Didn't it?
Nope.
Mm,
I thought he was able to tear the flesh off and like get rid of it.
While this is going on, Lucia would prepare additional spells. So and I would think, why would the Taldins be sacrificing troops to the divs?
Okay. Knowledge, religion, knowledge, arcana, knowledge. Means even.
Knowledge religion, and I'm going to be using one of the spells I prepared. It actually gave me a +10 bonus to one of my knowledge checks, and then another knowledge check as well. So doing knowledge arcana and religion to figure out.
Alrighty.
Xandu will also be communicating that it is it's something to do with the end of the world in several religions.
Okay, 31 arcana, 39 religion for related to this.
Okay, those are pretty good. I will say that Lucia is only vaguely aware, but is aware of a certain ritual that people can perform to trying to say it not mechanically, that people can perform to like increase their power by essentially you consume this fruit about the size of like an apple that like somebody went and harvested from from Abaddon, and usually by and large it's rumored that doing so, this is kind of like just a trick on the behalf of the divs and even like the daemons as well. This is probably just more of the four horsemen trying to get more souls to fuel their armies. But
So does
those
this
that
fruit
survive
happen to look like a heart?
yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
it like when it works, and Lucia probably has never seen anyone do it, let alone know it to work. This is probably just like the most buried and forgotten tome in some library in Agorian somewhere. When it works,
Some library in the Blue Kobold Emporium, huh?
yeah, that too. When it works, you essentially make a half fiend. When it doesn't work, it's the process of somebody converting truly and wholly to neutral evil, dying, the process of their soul being judged, sent to Abaddon, and turned into a div over thousands of years in about 6 seconds. It's and to go even farther, a little like I won't say miniature, a little portal opens up inside the person who consumes the fruit if they aren't strong enough to withstand it, and that's how the div enters the material plane through the body of the person, and it often has very regrettable consequences for that body. And when I say regrettable, I mean like violent, exploding rib cages everywhere, real bad stuff.
So we may be facing half-fiend in the future then.
It's for sure.
Rib cages multiple?
What it is when several people in Fort Legos have to do it all at once is kind of like what Lucia can extrapolate from it. That's probably what happened, is people who like higher ups knew would fail because they aren't powerful enough were forced to consume this fruit and thus essentially sacrificed to build an army of divs. Like divs probably don't have this. An army of div just like on the spot.
This is good because Lucia knows more about Plano creatures due to her schooling. So half-fiends she would probably know are pretty powerful, especially if it's already in a powerful creature.
Oh yeah, this is the one way ticket to being one of the powerful people on Galarion for sure, but it's like 99.9% failure rate where you just like, now there's a div. Sometimes daemons as well. It's pretty restricted to Abaddon. There's no precedent for like devils or demons or any other crazy spooky to do this, but if it lives on Abaddon, it probably will do this at some point.
This interests Lucia in a curious, scaring, but also interesting. I should investigate this more, sort of a cautious, scared, knowing this.
Mm-hmm. I should also say, like, when your Raven was finding weird humanoid bones all over the place, he was probably finding, like, the after effects.
I'm just curious. So when we were in here long time ago, I think before like session 15, I'm just curious. So what did my Raven learn about the archives or where the Libris Mortis was supposed to be hidden? I'm just curious.
Not a whole lot of much. It's around here somewhere.
Okay,
in theory.
nice. Okay, nice to know.
The Libris Mortis? Did she say this out loud?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking this as in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Zandu is not necessarily doing detect thoughts right now. He's busy drinking. But he will mention that the owner of the Blue Kobold Emporium has gotten a lot of his information that he passed on to me through some book called the Necronomicon. I did encounter such a book in his shop. It was very unusual. The book itself was alive.
Just curious. So would I know what the Necronomicon is? Is it like a big necromancer book?
Sounds like a knowledge check.
Knowledge religion, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Klaatu Varata.
33.
You don't know a whole lot, because the information is, to coin a phrase, it's pretty esoteric. But you know it exists. You know it's rumored to be a powerful like artifact linked to people who worship outer gods and things of that nature. Lucia probably kind of like, I'm not saying you the player write it off, but like it's not anything to do with Hal or Asmodeus. Why do I care? They'll lose eventually. My lord has a grand plan for the future.
My character would know a thing or two about certain powerful tomes. So I would mention to the party, it's a powerful tome. We should be very careful about when we are around it.
Indeed, I sort of gathered last time I saw it.
Such tomes usually have safeguards to protect its secrets, such as the old rune lord of the Atlanti. Wait, it would be
Thessalonian, my man.
yeah, the Thessalonian Empire. The rune lords, especially the powerful ones, kept their tomes well guarded and put powerful traps. So I don't want to know what type of hazards are in the book for those who read it.
I don't think any of us are quite ready for that yet. Xander returns to his drink.
So once you go and get yourself killed, can I keep the bird?
You mean my familiar? He goes, unfortunately. It's a relationship between me and the bird we have.
Sorry, bird. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, so Melvin, he the complete utter prick, and he doesn't like all of you, unfortunately.
Ooh.
It's fair, the feeling's natural.
So does Enderling ever come back out?
No, Enderling is right now. He's seated in front of his mother eating.
So he has not returned yet.
No, probably won't return for a couple hours, probably.
Well, Xandu will wait around at the bar for him if no one else does.
Let's see. I'm going to roll a 1d2 to see if I go back to camp or not.
Okay.
You did have your your apprentice waiting for you at your tent that you were supposed to meet, didn't you?
Yes, I go back to my tent. I do have an appointment with my apprentice I should keep.
Alrighty.
And I would see if there's a alchemist kindness behind the bar or so. Or did Enderling made alchemist kindness?
That's the like hangover cure.
Yes.
Well, Joe.
Hangover cure?
Yeah.
No such thing exists.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No dice.
Okay, so yep, I pick up my Melvin. When we get back to camp, I'm going to make you a drink to cure that hangover. And Melvin would complain, no, I want to drink more. And Lucia would say, I cannot have my familiar being drunk now. We had fun, but we need to go.
Being funk.
Yeah, Lucia is a nice overlord. She let her servants have fun, but not too much fun.
Alright, so Lucia returns to the material plane. Yarva continued. He looks really sad, and you can see as you like and your dead horse. Yarva like takes a bite of something, spits it out promptly, takes a bite of something else. Why can I not taste things anymore, comrade? What is this?
I would mention it seems it have to do with the blood that you have in you that's causing this.
My blood?
Yes. Looking at the signs, I believe you do have you are a sorcerer in a way. You do have what we like to call in the Arcana field the undead bloodline. It seems that some of the undead traits have passed on to you. That would explain why your taste buds are off. And you do experience some of the things that you have experienced.
All right, so he his eyes get progressively wider and wider and wider as you say all this. It's just, oh no, comrade! Does this mean I'm going to hell? The Dawnflower abhors the undead.
Nope, you are not going to go to hell or any other place like that. It is just powers passed down the blood, and I would explain some of the famous Dampier heroes that were good heroes.
Okay.
So it just
make me some kind of check. Make like a knowledge, local or history, something to like recall the best ones.
Knowledge. Let's see. 19, so I would probably know at least a few Dampier heroes in history at least.
Yeah, you get a couple of things. You get nothing particularly strikes him as amazing, but he's a little calmer. He simmers down a little.
It is not a curse exactly, but it does have some benefits as long as you know how to prepare for the worst at times. Don't worry, I'm here to help you through the process to help you master your powers.
Okay. He just continues nodding. In the hand that exists, because when he tries to put it in the other hand, the holy symbol of Serenity rebukes that hand, like putting a magnet on another magnet. It's that kind of thing.
It is a downside to having undead taint in you. Holy symbols like that don't normally work on evil creatures that have such bloodlines, unfortunately. It's a downside of such powerful, potent blood at times. But if you do master it, it can be quite powerful.
He seems a little too wrapped up in the fact that he can't hold his holy symbol in, or rather not the holy symbol. He's not a cleric also, in this undead hand.
I do know of a spell that I can potentially help you master through the blood to allow you to hold it still but not hurt you.
Okay, he looks up.
Have him try holding it upside down. That usually works.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. So how am I going to actually help him master these spells as a sorcerer? I'm just curious.
Make a knowledge arcana check.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I do not know how this thing usually work. Yeah, I know a thing or two about sorcerer bloodline. So 28.
You learn with your brain. Yarva will learn with. Essentially, he needs to he learns by doing. Essentially, he needs to be in the field with the scrolls throwing around.
Cool.
You imagine also side effects may include magical mystery, because he's just suddenly realized he has a sorcerer bloodline.
Okay, so I have to show him these spells, and it's more trial of error until he gets it right. Then.
More or less, yeah.
Okay, cool. Don't worry. I will help you master your talents. See how I do my magic, and you will master it in time. It just requires practice. And I would ask if he wants to have a cup of bourbon, and I get it from my travel chest for him.
Of course, comrade.
Okay, here. This should help you out a bit.
He drinks a little, spits it out, done. I cannot taste it.
It seems that the taint have ruined most of your flavors. Unfortunately, this is going to be a bit of a problem for you to eat at times. I'm just curious, how are you comfortable eating what the dead eat at times for nutrients to taste flavor at times?
He looks appalled. Make a diplomacy check.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just asking if he is interested or not. 17
versus his will save just got a little higher, but it's not that good. His will save plus that probably, yeah.
I mean, it would be.
Well, I don't want to starve, comrade. I guess
how about this? I help you choose what food appeals to you, so you are not going to eat all the bad foods. I have traveled to the land of the dead, so I know a few things about culinary skills. I can help you make something that is tasty but is nutritious for you. And I would explain, I have some cooking skills to help you.
He nods. He's still pretty, like, grossed out by the fact that he might have to eat like a ghoul eats now to taste anything. But he's like, if the alternative is starving.
There's, based upon what resources I can get, I can probably help you get nutrients from normal food in time, but that is beyond my power at the moment. For the time being, we must do what we must to survive in this world. So, aka mechanically, I need to get a lesser wish scroll and wish for a effect like that to remove it. So it would be difficult, but it's doable, my apprentice.
Fair enough. He continues nodding, just kind of like he's coming to grips with the fact he might have to resort to cannibalism to eat it again, and it's kind of rough on the poor.
I am here, Yarve. I will make sure you do not lose your path in life. I have faith in you. You will do the right thing. And I hug him to secure everything is fine.
All right, make a reflex save.
Okay. And I'm probably going to fail this, maybe. 14?
That's good enough. You go in to hug him, and he with a, it's not very fast because it is still Yarva, but with a burst of not lethargy, he kind of like leans forward just as he tries to like take a chunk out of your neck. You are more than able to recoil before he before he would do any damage, and he kind of just stumbles forward and starts crying on the ground.
Everything is going to be fine. This is a new learning curve for me to see how the bloodlines work. And I comfort him, telling him everything is going to be okay. And I think of what possible edible undead food I can make for him.
Not ready. Knowledge, religion.
Let's see. I do have. Yep, knowledge, religion would work. 32.
32. Yeah. Human flesh. Nice humanoid flesh would get there. The blood of not necessarily the innocent, but the blood of the humanoids. Think vampires, think ghouls. A lot of people in Roll20 chat right now are pointing out that his hand is maybe laying somewhere in the grasslands, and he could eat that. Of course, if the Cult of the Dawnflower got wind of this, it would not end well for him or you.
What about animal flesh? Would that be
So we're going
acceptable?
Twilight now.
Yeah, I am just saying. Okay, so would animal flesh be more acceptable in the Dawnflower for this situation?
Yeah, it probably would.
Okay.
It'd be more the case of like you don't slaughter the cow and make a hamburger, but you just kind of eat the cow in the field. But that puts an entirely different problem on the table, though, because I think a cow is like CR1 or 2 and could feasibly kill the poor boy. But
okay,
maybe that's his first training mission, is how to kill a cow.
Yes. Okay, so killing animals for its flesh. Okay, this is something Lucia can do. Maybe a chicken to begin off with.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna say
Those chickens are dangerous.
This guy is becoming a little more powerful. I'll let you build Yarva's sheet. He's a Suli on a 10-point buy. He has 1 commoner level and 1 sorcerer level with the undead point, or the undead point buy, the undead bloodline.
Wait, so Suli, commoner,
commoner 1, sorcerer 1 on a 10-point buy.
And then, what about his fighter level? So, would you say he have one?
Maybe like warrior 1, yeah. Or actually, replace that commoner level with a warrior level. We'll say.
Okay, so warrior 1.
Warrior 1, sorcerer 1.
Cool.
That's how this session is going. What's everybody else up to back in the day we played? Xandu is drinking. Enterling is eating with his mom.
Yeah,
We're-
Xander was just sort of waiting for Enderling to reappear.
We're making hand puns.
Yeah, I am. This is fun. I have a maybe a. I have a ghoul servant, whether I attended or not.
You did it.
Yes.
I'm thinking that Lucia is probably a little envious of her servant because he's closer to undead than she.
Well, Lucy is part of the living, which she actually does envy, as she doesn't need to resort to such debased consumption to survive. But she is a bit envious, but not envious at the same time, if that makes sense for power sense.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the rest of us are like, that guy's life sucks. He's undead, and then at the same time going, and that's what she wants to do to herself. Really?
Yeah. What's that
Well,
perception check for, Joe?
To like put my ear up against the door and see like if there's anyone left in the outside.
Yeah, it sounds like the guys are all there.
I mean, Lucia did make a promise to help Yarve become a magic user, and she will go through that deal. I mean, she will never be a blackguard and break a promise, or try to use what legal loopholes to get out of promises if possible.
Right. So Lucia's gone, Enderling, but the rest of us are still there.
Yep, that's what you hear.
Okay.
You probably don't hear a lot of Xandu.
We're talking about Jin and making undead jokes and
Just ripping on Lucy. On.
well, that's because somebody stood up for Enderling. Otherwise, Pogue would still be letting him have it too.
I guess with the remaining hours until the party need to sleep, I would probably buy some type of a bird and prepare it so me and Yarbe can have supper of some kind together.
Okay, so to feed Yarva, you think you'd have to like. There's not really a bird to buy in a like
What about the
ramshackle
multiverse?
triage. Oh yeah, you have that, don't you?
Yeah, so yeah.
You can buy some livestock. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so buy two small-sized birds to help Yarve into his new undead life, maybe.
Alrighty, I'm breaking out the stats for chickens. They,
I think
will,
it's like
they will resist the will save for whatever it is you try to do to them. He needs to eat
They will
them
resist.
while they're alive.
The
I'm pretty
chickens?
sure that your
Get the
family is
chicken
not gonna
drunk
be too
first.
Happy about that.
Get the chicken drunk first.
That's my will save. +1.
Harvey Weinstein, those chickens.
Yeah, Tiny. Tommy, will this cause me to shift more into the evil territory, killing animals like this?
No, not really. You're already lawful evil for one. For two,
Okay, okay.
You're feeding the poor boy. You're not like if you torture him, don't do it around Francis. Basically, the idea here is like if you kill them, well, you could just kill the chickens flat out, and he could eat the bodies like that. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, I'm going to think, to the best of my knowledge, what would be the appropriate way to help Yarve feel more comfortable?
Okay,
So-
knowledge,
Knowledge?
psychology, and feelings. I don't know.
Let's see, knowledge,
Maybe a sense motive. Yeah, we'll say sense
yes,
motive.
sense motive. This is tough, and Lucia, no, heart goes out to him.
Mhm.
So 26, sense motive.
26. Well, you said it pretty well not too long ago. He needs to ask you for help first, and if you just like force it on him, he might be receptive, but it would never be the same. He just has to do it pretty much. It's time.
Okay.
But yeah, the chickens probably cost like a car, if that.
Yep, it's a few, maybe a silver piece max. So
Yeah, for a couple
I
chickens.
would help him through the growing stages of this, unfortunately, curse, not curse. We will see how much of a curse it is, really.
Okay, so how are we going to? We're just gonna hand the chickens to him.
I would think, what is the best way to help make this process easier?
Okay, you could. There's one of two ways you can go with this, I guess. You could teach him to kill the chicken. Like let the chickens loose, make him like hunt and kill his own food. Or you could kill the chickens yourself and present him with 2 dead chicken bodies.
I'm just going to kill it. I'm not going to make him go through any more emotion than he have to today.
Alrighty, the chickens in the cages are very upset. It's I know it's not much of a die roll, but like it will start. There will be combat versus 2 chickens. They resist death.
Okay, I have 2 magic missiles prepared, so I'm just going to kill it. So on average, just going to kill it for sure.
Roll damage.
So
Yeah, 2 dead chickens. Got it.
1 dead. So
Oh yeah, that's max damage. That chicken is ver dead.
yeah, dead. So it would be in a good state to eat then.
Yeah, they're all good to go. There's a bunch of feathers. People probably look at you like you're really messed up as you do this.
This is my first time as a player doing animal cruelty, so this feels very odd having to do this.
Say awesome.
Sorry.
Feels great.
All the
When I
guards show up and say that you've committed crimes against Kadira and people.
Yeah,
Stop. You're violating the law.
I am just thinking of Legend of Zelda now. Whenever you attack a chicken, all of them come after you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Or even Skyrim.
The party
Attack a
splits
chicken?
22 experience. Well, you get 22 experience after the split. Excuse me.
Nice.
Okay,
Thanks, Donald.
part of me feels
I'm not writing that
bad.
down.
Part of me feels bad about animal cruelty to a certain extent, but
And that other part of you feels like you've got that much closer on your step to necromancy. The chickens do not turn into snow. Actually, wait just a minute. I didn't mean to bring up initiative. Don't freak out. Wait just a minute. Tommy brings up initiative. They let's see. Actually, one of them. Okay, one of the 2 chickens, you hit it and it looks over. You speak Abyssal?
yes.
What the
yes.
cluck are you doing? Ah!
I am feeding you. I'm feeding you to my servants.
Like it says, "What the cluck are you doing?" And like the missiles begin colliding with like cheek, stomach, and it is very dead. And it does turn into a pile of snow.
So it's just one, then.
1 chicken fit for eating. 1 chicken is a pile of snow. And
Okay,
Is that,
cool.
What do you do?
Okay,
Does that snow
I-
chicken have a name?
it might.
Not anymore.
okay. I present the 1 chicken to my apprentice and collect the other snow. I will use it for alchemical purposes.
His name is Pate.
Ping. Make me another knowledge arcana check, Donald, if you would.
Okay.
It's funny how things come full circle when I'm something. 20. Ping. You get the feeling that, and I should have given this to you here, but the snow, it's gentle repose meets a simple transmutation effect, but the body is still there, and you could cast Raise Dead. Like if you wanted a zombie chicken right now, you could do it.
Sorry. Lucy, I'm not going to use animate dead just to have a chicken servant. Sorry.
By that same logic, like those cave giants were fair game. I didn't
rather
know
have...
it at the time, but what I'm saying is like you can still cast Animate Dead through the snow.
Cool. I'd rather have a powerful undead servant I can actually make and not rely on lesser undead.
Fair enough. Okay.
So the diff turned to snow too, right?
They did.
Same rules though?
More or less. It's awkward because they don't have a soul, but like
Oh.
he was talking about necrocrafting for a while, and they would
Right.
certainly function for that.
Okay, so if I use proposed corpse on some of the bodies, that would work.
They're
Then?
already under gentle repose when they turn to snow. I guess the damper on things becomes after a few days. Yeah. After a few days pass, like, and the perpetual snowstorm that is still going on here, and like there's snow on the ground where you are despite the warm day, a lot of bodies are gonna get cold as the snow gets like pushed around. That's not to say it wouldn't work, but that is to say like you don't know what's on the other side of that animate dead or how many arms it has.
Oh, so the vials I collected already, I could just use them for necrocrafting purposes then.
Correct.
Cool, got this. So I help my apprentice through the terrible experience.
All right, he understands what's going on, and he starts crying as he bites into a dead chicken. And like, it's not long after the first bite before his eyes light up like a kid at Christmas, and he just begins like ravenously tearing into this thing. The beak goes flying, the legs go flying in another direction. He just like gorges himself on this chicken, and it's gone in like 30 seconds. Most of the bones are gone as well. There's probably like a bit of like chicken femur. I don't know if chickens have femurs.
Okay, I assume he is hungry still, so I would get a few more and use knives, use the daggers to kill them more mercifully.
Alrighty, make some attack rolls. These chickens continue to resist. They don't want to die. We'll say...
Is this how we're gonna get our next level? Just killing chickens?
Just killing chickens.
Fucking go full Zelda on their ass.
See, well, he crits the first... Okay, yeah, you crit the first one, and your weapon reflexively turns like a spear that is like cut at the right angles to cut through all the cages and just skewer all of them in one.
Okay, a question. So could I just buy a infinite amount of chickens and gain a level up by doing this?
I mean, you have to spend the gold. But
would eventually rise up.
Yeah, the chicken rebellion of 4718.
General chicken uprising.
Or there was a natural one in there, excuse me. But there was a natural one. You're fine. You've killed 6 more chickens. The party splits. They're worth not much. That much. So you guys would all get 65 experience points.
Okay,
there.
Okay, I need to kill another 1 million chickens.
I mean, you will run out of gold. If we're gonna play this game, I'll look up the price of a fucking chicken and we'll go there.
Stop. Stop it.
Okay, so if
that's
I
the last 20 minutes of the session is just killing chickens.
So if I kill 1 million chickens, so does that mean we level up very quickly then?
Welcome to Pathfinder. What are you guys at right now? How much experience do you need to level?
A ton.
A ton.
Yeah, like a whole crap load.
That's a lot of chickens, my man.
Like we just made it over.
Yeah, you guys just made it to 8.
Yeah, we're like 77,000 out of the 115 we need to go to 9.
That's 115, so this is very vague math, but
How about just one big chicken?
like a dire chicken.
60,000, right?
All the axe beaks you can find in Absalom.
A dire div chicken or something.
Half fiend chicken.
Yeah.
Henrietta.
Oh, it's too late for that.
I'm picturing now if
She's
I kill
dead now, and that's all that matters.
I'm picturing if I kill 1 million chickens, then we have
you
to
would need to
give
kill 585 chickens. So far, you have killed what, 7?
And the price is going to go up.
Yeah, they're gonna the demand on chickens is gonna skyrocket.
Just go to the interplanar merchants. We'll just go find them again, and we'll be like, "Hey, dude, we need like 600 chickens."
Just fireball them. We did it, guys.
Buy them in bulk.
I am thinking if I did kill 600 chickens in a short amount of time, that would probably make my character being more neutral or chaotic evil, and I'm not ready to go into that territory.
Yeah, just like 8 to 10 hours later, we're all still sitting in the tavern that Enderling's parents own, and we all get a feat out of nowhere.
Just ping.
Yeah. Yeah. And Pogue would be like, just like halflings, right, lady? So. I don't know how you feel about that.
That got dark pretty quickly. Having a ghoul apprentice-ish now and killing chickens to get experience. Fun.
Now I have to quickly close Facebook because Greg started talking about how there's an AP on Roll20 for Pathfinder and it's gonna bing all over this recording. But Doomsday Dawn is available. That's what went through my head. All right, so what is going on in this session? We've killed some chickens. There's a crazy boy who's become a crazy zombie boy.
Crazy boy.
We got a quarter of an hour to figure out what the hell we're doing next week.
Yeah, pretty much. It's on the table. Pogue wants to go to Apara.
Enderling's gonna like pop open the door just enough that he can see like who's in the room.
Okay.
And when I see Zandu, I'm gonna kind of like motion for Zandu to come around the bar.
Okay.
Being real secretive about it.
Perception
Not
checks.
as secretly as like just like ignoring everyone except for Zandu.
Never mind the perception checks. You'll all see it.
Okay, so if we had to kill 600 and some chickens, it would be 600 plus gold plus whatever the inflation.
Okay, but we're not
rate
doing
is.
that.
We're not doing that.
I might have to put a stop to
Really
that eventually.
expensive
I will
chickens.
go Legend of Zelda on you. They will be
Supply
angry.
and demand.
Supplying the cuckoo storm.
Oh,
Hey, but
God.
if you kill one of those things, that's a level by itself.
Yeah, it's just a swarm of chickens.
It's like a CR-17 chicken swarm.
Yes. Okay, so Zandu going behind the bar into the
Yeah.
employees only section. All right, so you see everything that's been described to Enterling. You see the lady in the chair, catatonic.
Anyone will close the door.
So, first thing Zandu will do is he will use detect thoughts on her to see what, if anything, is going through her mind.
Okay. She is entitled to a will save.
Oh,
That
if
will
I
save
was
is-
casting, I would have gotten a crit.
Ugh. Her spell
I
resistance
had to
is
cast a level
automatically
check.
shut off. No, she doesn't have spell resistance. He probably also fails. Yeah, well, she almost gets there. There's a little bit of resistance, but you're able to pierce into her mind, and it's I told myself I was gonna do research on people that in the real world enter this kind of state for when this exact event was gonna happen, but I didn't think that was today. She just kind of like, her thoughts are really slow. She doesn't focus on anything for too long before it just kind of like drifts on, and then like there's probably a little pang of like, I should eat something. Then she doesn't. And just continues like rocking. Just, I haven't got out of this chair in a long time. I should get up. My legs feel funny. Like, trails off again.
Hmm. So, in other words, she seems distracted from, like, all of life.
Yeah, more or less.
How is Zandu going to approach this?
Somebody's squeaking good.
It's ambience.
Is there does she have any reactions at all to Enderling during that time?
She is not. She doesn't seem to have a reaction to much of anything.
Oh, there's the chair. There's the chair. It's
You
real.
did it.
That's better.
Who's doing it? Is that Kane?
No, mine was a squeaky.
Oh.
The chair is Joe.
Alright, well, Joe receives an action point and you receive for ambiance. And I'm going to really quickly look up if any gods in Pathfinder have the sacred animal of... Because I need to know. I know where this campaign is
Chicken
going.
mage! Bukak!
I am thinking with the amount of animals I may or may not have to kill, I'm going to have probably the nature gods mad on me.
I could
Well,
probably
just-
do a wrestle.
Just mix it up. Just do a variety of different animals. That way no one god gets too mad.
Goats,
Kill a bunch of really
cows.
low CR aberrations.
Yeah.
A minion chicken ghost. I got this. So what did the rest of the group do?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
Still
Yeah,
goblin hunt.
What do I think would happen if I were to do a mind link and give her a bunch of information? Would that like bring her out of it, or would it make it worse?
No, check out.
All right.
Paizo goes to great lengths to describe their like happy farm. Chickens are prized for their hearty breakfast meals they provide if properly fed. There's the obligatory breakfast conversation. Chickens are highly social
Yes.
creatures.
Hey,
that
whoa,
raise
whoa,
their
whoa.
young communally.
Don't give it away before we run the game, man.
No, I'm not talking about the breakfast game. I'm talking about how Colin always gets off these after Rune Lords to go eat bacon and eggs. You don't think it's the best idea to eat bacon and eggs. You don't think it's the best idea to mind link with her because you'd be flooding her with a bunch of information at once. It's kind of like if someone has been in darkness for a long time, is it the best idea if you want to bring them back into the light by just like throwing up all the shades at once? kind of thing.
You have glaucoma.
Yeah,
So, in other words, the message spell would be better.
maybe.
Yeah, you're
It depends on how
dealing
you're
with
casting
like
it.
human veal here.
Yeah.
Depends on how I'm casting it, huh?
Mm.
Ooh, that's interesting. So, is she like... I'm wondering if she would resist hypnotism if I tried to do that.
Just a thought.
See if I could bring her out that way.
Okay.
Have her recall her past.
This is like 20 plus her will save, DC or something like that.
Mm.
You can do it.
Yeah, and I don't have all the negatives to my stuff right now.
You are again very pretty.
Yes, it's still not. It's still only a +6, but whatever.
Yeah, only.
I don't know what her
Really?
will save is.
We can wait a couple hours and I can make a potion like Eagle Splitter or something.
So
That would, in fact, help.
Well, don't you have a headband of charisma at this point?
Me?
No, Xandu.
I do not, because I have not had a chance to buy anything yet.
Oh, fair enough.
I have all this gold that I don't know what to do with.
Well, always remember to return to the Blue Kobold Emporium for all of your magical items.
You're right.
But you could, if I were to roll the will save for hypnotism, it's just a DC you need to roll, and you need to beat my 20+ modifier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to beat a 20.
Okay, so... And I can try it more than once, which is nice. I can only do it once per day on the same person. It's like a witch hex.
Okay.
But Xandu will say that if Enderling could brew up a potion that could aid in his diplomatic skills, that would help.
Everyone could do that. Spend the gold. It's only... Still have gold.
So while this is all going on, while Yarva is feasting on dead chickens, that is not how I saw that character going when it was first introduced to me so long ago. Mercutio approaches Lucia in Kadir and just, "Where do your friends go, noblewoman?"
You didn't see us leave?
He assumes you assume because Lucia is back. You've all come back. He's not the brightest, but he is the brightest. But he's drunk. He's awkward.
Huh.
Hope Donald's with us. Here I am trying to RP.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, so he's just kind of. Where are your friends at, noblewoman? We need to talk.
Who is this?
This is Mercutio at. He has a lot of voices. Mercutio at Lucia.
I like the 720. It
Okay,
was the best.
so they're asking. So
They're
he's asking where
Asking
the party
you
is.
where the rest of the party is.
Oh, I would explain they're in Mufasa's demi-plane at the moment. A few of them are at the bar at the moment.
All right.
Ah.
Well, come with me. We need to go speak with him.
Okay, I get
Pogue thinks it'd be
my...
a great idea for all of you to just show up to Apara, and if you're gonna do that, I need to know for sure so that I can make sure you're at least kind of well equipped before you go out and get yourselves killed.
Okay, I would I would bring my apprentice along. I would assume before Mercutio came along, I would cast Prestidigitation to clean my apprentice up a bit to get rid of any unpleasant odors or smells. And then accompany...
Or loose feathers.
Yeah, so yes. So I have a civilized goal now. Fun.
Yeah.
So
So
I go to
Mercutio
the
and-
portal.
Mercutio and Lucia all they both appear at the Envy around the time that Xandu makes that check for the hypnotisms.
I do
Do I
brew up
get,
that potion.
Okay,
Takes
got
a
it.
couple hours, but
So they take a long time.
So, what kind of bonus does that give me?
Oh,
Plus
it's
2.
just
It's just what?
I think it's 1 second. I just looked it up and then I just like got rid of it
Eagle
immediately.
Splendor?
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
plus 4 to your charisma, so a plus 2
Yeah,
to
plus 4 your charisma, so plus 2 the modifier.
Gotcha.
Or
All
did you
right,
need to
so-
talk over you, Tommy.
Zandu will see what he can do.
What can do Zandu?
Oh, he makes it. That's a 22.
It's a 22, yeah, okay, otherwise that would have been tied to defender. Okay, yeah, you you can do what you're gonna do. I'm not sure exactly what we're trying to get out of this. And I'm not saying that derisively, just like, don't do this, but I'm still kind of trying to catch up.
So he's sort of hypnotizing her to help her recall, because what it does is it helps you recall information.
Okay.
So help her recall her son specifically.
All right, it succeeds, and the woman, everyone in the envy hears this. She just begins shrieking at the top of her like
Oh
old,
boy.
like scratchy voice. She probably like blows out her vocal cords.
She's
but she
not that
doesn't-
old, Tommy.
But
She's
she also
only like
hasn't-
35.
But she hasn't spoken a long time. And 35, I won't say 35 is old because I'm too close to that, as Kane likes to point out. But she continues just like screaming again at the top of her voice. This is around the time that Mercutio and Lucia arrive back at Fafnir's Envy, and
Oh boy.
Lucia opens the door to the wall of sound, essentially. And Mercutio, what the hell's going on here?
There has been a murder.
There has been a murder in the Devon. Voodoo Mama Lucia.
Zudu.
Well, I guess that'd be Zandu. Voodoo Daddy Zudu. I'm screwing myself up now.
Zudu.
I give up. Get another reason
Hello.
Sarah shouldn't have slept through this one because she watches The Office way more than I do. I gotta talk like I got a bunch of molasses coming out of your brain.
I brought my apprentice along.
Yarva's here too. Yarva's freaking out.
So
Spill
Don't
on
mind
my
Zandu
all
is,
the cotton balls and marbles I have in my cheeks.
Zandu is going to try to diplomatize with her to get her to calm down.
Alright, roll it. Nope.
Diplomacy.
She doesn't seem to hear you.
Oh boy. The last diplomacy was much better.
Yeah, it truly was.
Andrew's just standing in the corner, wide-eyed.
Mercutio probably like throws the door. What the hell is going on here? And so violent. No, I can't not. I guess he's just gonna be I think of his name.
Transient.
Yeah, he's from a lot of places.
Moving around.
He's seen some stuff in his days.
Now, what's going on in here?
What's going on in this place with this poor woman? I've been
Oh,
watching
boy.
too much Crypt of the Everflame. Now I'm becoming Grelin the Green. That's a good podcast, though.
I had a stroke.
Mercutio just kind of like moves into the room, waddling, his fat jiggling everywhere, freaking. We need to talk about Opara, and you're in here with this woman, and this. Get out of here! And he just kind of like he's not gonna grab either of you, especially the big elfin boy. But he moves back to the door and just like motions for you guys to come back in the room and close the door. The rest of the party
I thought
definitely
he
like.
was going to grab Edling's mother, like, Mercutio is about to die, Tommy.
Francis and Pogue definitely hear the shrieking. There's no
Okay,
way to
so-
not.
We
Wait, what?
The
wait, we
shrieking
are-
of the lady.
which lady screaming?
Some lady you haven't met. You hear female shrieking coming from the back of the bar.
All right, I'm up.
Zandu is going to try and detect mindscape to see if she's trapped in a mindscape at all when he
Okay.
did this to her.
Okay, she is not.
She is not.
Mhm.
I almost picked up the southern accent.
She is not.
I'm going to detect those southern accents.
You find the presence of one southern accent.
Zandu is going to try detect thoughts again.
What's going on in here? I mean, what's going on in here?
He has to throw it up. Yeah, you can pick up some thoughts. It's just screaming, essentially. What screaming
Just
sounds
scream.
like in your head. It's like, I don't know how to describe the thoughts of overwhelming fear and anxiety and sadness and oh my god, all rolled together into one. But yeah, you're picking that up. And Mercutio is still just kind of like, we need to talk about Opara!
Who?
Who, Opara, is the capital of only the biggest empire in the Inner Sea region? My lady. And he bows.
yeah.
I do declare.
I do
Okay,
declare.
Yeah,
knowing...
I thought he was talking about a person too.
I thought it was a person. So we minded. Yes, we should deal with that.
Like, you boys need to watch more of the
Screaming
Inner
in the
Sea region.
background.
A 5-minute tour.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work
So-
that I'm not into.
So what?
How long will it take?
How long will what take?
The 5-minute tour.
5 minutes. It's
5 minutes.
It's a series
It's
of videos
usually
that you
7.
can watch at this card right here. And now I have to put a card on this video for what it uploads for the Inner Sea region, a 5-minute tour.
The
There
great.
you go.
So Xandu is going to try to message her, so sort of a direct link to the mind,
Okay.
and get her to calm down.
Alrighty. She will attempt
That
to resist
way.
it. Well, this
We will
message
attempt to
will
resist
negates
message.
harmless.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, then it is negated because it is harmless. She does not want it. She is not down.
She's
Is
not down.
Do you have like the psychic equivalent of calm emotions?
I do not.
Wah, wah.
That would be helpful right now.
Yeah. Does anybody have that spell? Because I don't.
I don't. Well, I do if I get a wizard spellbook and take it, but
I've got
I
Thunderstomp. I could knock her the fuck out of that chair.
Well,
I do
know
know
where
the
we can find some wizard spells.
And the Blue Kobold Emporium.
Exactly.
Plug, plug, plug.
Xandu will communicate that she has been overwhelmed by emotion.
is everyone like standing in the back room now?
It's probably really
Well,
awkward.
she
Yeah.
was screaming. See, kinda,
Okay.
man. I mean, I don't mean to invade on your personal life and shit, but it sounded like someone was dying.
She is a bit overwhelmed. We need to calm her down.
would talking her down help her, or do we need to use scrolls from the Arendelle shop?
Both are effective.
Perhaps we would be able to talk her down. I personally haven't been able to.
Perhaps we need to talk about how you guys want to go to the capital of the biggest empire in the Inner Sea region and think it's going to be some kind of profit.
You cut out a bunch there. I didn't really get that.
I did. I definitely watched the green light on Discord go away. Perhaps we need to talk about how you guys think you can go to the biggest city in the Inner Sea region, the capital of the biggest empire on Galarion, and somehow come out alive.
I used to live there. Of course, I'll come.
Okay, and
I don't care if I don't come.
Dark.
it's not light.
Everything wants everyone to
Like
leave.
city folk.
All right.
Correction, Captain Chaos wants everyone to leave.
Erling drinks his mutagen and start pushing folks. Does that break, or does that not break anyone's CMD?
Does what?
And
What,
Erling is trying to
19?
grapple folks.
I get out of the way. I don't want to be.
It does not.
I don't want to be part of this scene, so I move back, not to be hit.
Is he trying to push Xandu out as well?
What I'm seeing.
Just everyone.
Mercutio will get out of the
everyone.
way on his own.
Because I would think that Enderling would experience great psychological stress at this and probably end up transforming.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So
So Enderling just takes up twice the amount of room he already takes up and starts screaming at you in giant.
Xandu will very quickly get out. And he will rush to the Blue Kobold Emporium as quick as he can.
Okay. Welcome to the Blue Kobold. Hi, Xandu. Emmy's still sleeping.
Yes, right now I would need a scroll of calm emotions as quickly as you can get it.
Okay. And it like begins scurrying up like racks of scrolls. It doesn't take that long. It brings you a scroll of calm emotions.
Okay, I have no idea what that costs off the top of my head.
You know what? Neither do I, and we're at the end of the session. So for you, Xandu, it's free.
Is that a first level spell?
So, Xandu will thank him, nod, and rush back to the bar.
Okay.
He will sort of listen to the back room to see where Enderling / Captain Chaos is, what he's doing.
If everyone's left, he's probably just like stomping around the room.
So,
Like I say, I would knock.
Just like a guard dog or something like that.
Xandu will knock very quickly. Well, not like a rapid knock, but you know what I mean. He'll
Yeah.
quickly go up to the door and knock.
An all drum comer of Through the Fire and Flames.
Well, that's just
Yeah, so 6 minutes of that passed.
Xandu takes bar bubbles.
I don't know. Let's do this. Who's stronger?
You.
I am stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not like stronger. Like here's Chaos's roll.
Oh, I see.
Oh, so Chaos is stronger. The door. I'm probably just gonna scream at the door. Just like, like full on, just like roar at the door in full troll fashion.
Oh, it's very scary.
Like a will save. It's very scary. It's mind affecting. You'll get a +10.
that door pees.
No, it's not. It's a fear effect. Fear effects and mind affecting are two different things.
Never mind.
Yeah, but either way, it's still inter-party stuff. So
I don't think he's gonna
Keep
do
that in
anything that
mind.
bad with it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just trying to get you. I'm just like, if it was Enderling, like, I would switch back to being Enderling and open up the door. But Chaos is stronger, so Chaos does not want anyone in the room.
Suddenly we're playing Warhammer. Chaos is stronger.
So if that's the case, Xandu will step away from the door, cast open close on it, then very quickly read the spell from the scroll to cast calm emotions on her to get her to calm down.
Alrighty, make that spell craft.
Well, good lord. did
I
you
have read magic.
Oh
so
yes,
I do
yes.
not have
So
to.
it automatically. So then I get a will save. Probably failed up.
Oh shit, you don't!
Well, she continues. She starts screaming louder.
Scream it even louder!
She realizes someone is trying to assault her mind, and now she's pissed about that too.
Oh boy.
She's screaming, he's screaming, the door's peeing its pants.
We found the
Xandu will
mimic.
cast open close on the door to close it again. Rush back to the Blue Cobalt Emporium, ask for another scroll.
That's another 25 gold.
This time I have to charge you.
Xandu probably already has the gold ready.
Thank you for shopping at the Blue Cobalt Emporium. Pushes the scroll over, goes back inside the hat.
While this is going on,
You know what I like? I like chickens. They're so cute and cuddly. I wonder if my benevolent overlord likes chickens. Puts the hat back down.
I don't think I could ever forgive anyone who would kill a chicken.
I am shocked, and I am looking at the crawler, and I am
But
entertained
you're
by
not
it
there.
going in.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
there.
This is just
Oh,
Xandu.
Zandu rushes back. This time he knocks on the door again just to see if anything's changed.
Already.
Probably not. Do we want to see who's stronger again?
We should, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I like this.
So this is Chaos's.
Oh,
Well,
oh.
Chaos is sleepy. Chaos sleepy.
Yeah, we'll say I go to sleep. And
Yep.
then, like, you knock on the door, and soon you hear just,
Zandu will step back,
Enderling's
open,
mother is
close
still
again,
very angry.
seeing that Enderling is asleep.
Being furious is exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the name of the session.
And he will cast Calm Emotions again.
All right, this time it passes. If that was an actual D20, that 8 would be ominously close to her getting more angry. But yeah, no, she just kind of like shuts up really fast and goes back to just rocking back and forth in her chair. Enderling sleeps peacefully on the ground.
One last detect thoughts to see what's going through her head.
Okay. She's gone back to not being able to really train of thought, really.
So basically, I pulled her out too quick.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. So Mercutio is just kind of like very impatiently tapping his big, gross halfling foot on the bar.
All right, come out here.
Are we gonna talk about this or aren't we? You boys
Okay,
got a
what-
death wish?
What the hell is so wrong about Apara?
What the hell is so wrong about Opara?
what's so wrong with our love?
You're unconscious. Shut up.
Opara is the capital of the empire we are trying to overthrow. There will be... I cut out again. I
Be a
have to
little
talk
bit-
a little quieter or it will make this mic poop its pants. Opara is the capital, he's still angry though, of the very empire we're trying to overthrow. The very capital we're trying to overthrow. There will be guards everywhere. There will be knights everywhere. For all we know, there will be div everywhere. People that are much stronger than people like you.
If we are going to take the empire on, we need to start from the outside and then go to the heart. So we should take care of the weak spots of the empire, so we can get more resources. Then we
See?
can go after it.
Listen to the
It's hard.
evil necromancer lady.
Does he? I guess Mercutio would know I'm a necromancer, so that would be accurate.
Mercutio, do you hear what you're saying?
Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
Going
No
straight.
fear. Take
go-
him down.
Going to the straight of the heart is a foolish move. We're going to get killed without the necessary prep. If we're going to take on the enemy at their heart, we need to become stronger. That means knowing what the enemies are, going in with the proper intel, and then when we have the perfect chance, strike the creature, then cut the head off, and then present it on the battlement once we are victorious, metaphorically.
Stick it on a spike and pee on it.
And even then, you've still got the Chelish, he awkwardly looks at Lucia, to deal with after that. Of course, apparently they can't set foot on Kadiran soil, but do you really think they're gonna just roll over and let us exist? Probably not. And when their great and almighty overlords, the Taldor Empire... I cannot man this mic. And when their great and almighty overlords, the Taldor Empire, cease to exist, who knows what they'll do?
The only way to prevent the Cheliax Empire invasion is to have a force of equal power, to remind them of their place when we are on top, to remind the devil worshippers of their position in the world. If you have another force of equal power versus another force of equal power, generally both sides step down if they know what is good for them.
You know, for somebody who likes to kill chickens, you're pretty smart, Necromancer.
Yes,
How
what
much
do you...
shit does he just know?
What do you... What do you expect? I was born in Cheliax, so I was born to be in charge to a certain extent if situations were not the way they were.
Xandu sort of looks at her awkwardly. His hand is at his ready by his whip.
We have to deal with one threat at a time. Then we can focus on the next. We don't need to count our chickens before.
Really?
I will begin the sentence again.
We don't have any chickens.
We need to take one issue on at a time. Then worry about the next. We cannot.
Not anymore.
We let's focus on the current task at hand. Then we can deal with the ones that come after. If we have too
Xandu
many,
will look at Mercutio and say, "She is right, but we also need to focus on minimizing casualties in the meantime, because that will only accelerate the process."
Especially the casualties of you and you and you and you and you, and in spirit points back to the gate, you. Referring, of course, to Emeritus. He's not even here to consent to this, and probably in about a week or so, he's gonna get... Man, this mic. And probably in about a week or so, he's gonna get dragged to one of the most dangerous places in the Empire.
if we are going to weaken the div threat, let's figure out what weak spots the Empire have, so we can take those necessary resources, use it to strengthen our cause, to make future advances a bit more successful on our end.
Pogue just kind of like looks with awe and impressedness. It's been a long session. Impressedness in Lucia's direction. Listen to Lucia. Listen,
No,
have
we
you
don't.
always been this smart?
Yes.
You don't mean Pogue.
No, I mean Mercutio. There's too many halflings.
Yeah.
This is strictly speaking the most amount of halflings
Wait,
I've ever had.
Wait,
in a
so
Pathfinder
it would
group.
be talking
Two?
to
two.
Lucia?
Yeah, talking to you. very impressed
Yes.
with you.
Yes. If I was to be a simple, impotent commoner intelligence, I wouldn't be here and maintain what power I do have.
All right, feeling a little personally attacked, but what do you suggest we do then?
From the book Art of War, if we're going to strike the enemy, we should strike them at their weak spot to divert their attention, then have forces elsewhere to cause trouble on another front. So they need to spread their forces thinly if we're going to have a chance to do this right. So if we hurt their economics area of concern first, that will draw their attention elsewhere, while Mufasa and his forces can strike where it hurts elsewhere to draw their attention and forces much more thinner. It's a common tactic, divide and conquer. If we use it right, we can weaken the div properly, but we need to do it in a proper fashion if we're going to have success.
I'd
Well,
also ask
normally-
Irindel what those weak spots are. He seems to know quite a bit about what's going on.
That boy
I'm going
thinks he
to,
knows a lot of things.
I am going to do a knowledge, history, or geography check to figure out what would be the best areas to make a plan for.
Okay. All right. I don't know how
Economic
geography
centers.
fits there, but
Area, knowing resources, like stuff like that was important in the area.
oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So that'd be resources, terrain, stuff like that. Because terrain can definitely give you an advantage, that's for sure.
Oh, it can.
Xandu will also aid with the geography roll.
Okay. So you guys,
28 geography, 16 history.
I'll say, right now at the moment, the satrap of Kadira is gone. You imagine it's just a bunch of like militant holdouts in Kathir and like people that have literally run to the hills. And it won't be long before Kadira falls to the rebellion, and when it does, you guys you sit on the westernmost part of the Gold Road, which originally that was the hook to bring you guys into this rebellion, was get super rich, and you very well get super rich sitting on essentially the Galarian equivalent of the Silk Road.
I know where we start. Casimir.
Also that.
We do have you that know more about the area, so that is a important spot. So how are we going to strike there, Paul?
We take out their navy. We
And
have people rise up. It's next to
Andrew.
Andrian, thank you. And so we can get sympathizers there.
That is correct. We could use our allies to cause unrest in the region, making the Taudans use more forces than necessary to cause more fronts, so we can have more freedom. Good idea. With you knowing the area more, I'm going to let you be in charge of what the next course of action to do in that region is.
And as Mercutio knows, there's plenty of halflings there from the Underground Railroad.
Mercutio does nod solemnly at that.
We should use those people as a resource to help us out.
Lady, the last thing I want to hear is about using halflings.
Okay, use them as allies.
So while this is all going on, Mercutio, he kind of like crawls up on the table, and as he does so, and this is rapidly becoming my Aranese circle the sky overhead, his Eagle Knight banner. And this is not me railroading you, but his Eagle Knight banner like flaps in a sudden wind. You get the feeling he's probably just like prestidigitationing it for effect.
Oh, please, railroad us.
If you boys are willing to wait, slow down, help us finish off things in Kadira. The seeds have been sprouted. Rebellions have started all over the place. Give us time. We can work together. You boys don't have to get yourselves killed. Only one of you can swim. Looks in the direction of the sleeping troll. That's a lot of ships.
Yes, we should take care of the issues on this current front, then focus our energies on the next.
Look, I won't stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do, and frankly, the more information we can get from Taldor, the better. But I don't want to see you boys and girl, I forgot, and I don't want to see you people get killed.
Poe, this is an idea. How about we send people into Taldor to act as spies, act as commoners?
Who do you think that is? That's
Pogue
us.
raises his
That's
hand.
us.
Yeah,
That's us.
Pick me.
I can go in as me.
Pogue Mahone as himself.
He makes a point, but I do have to say, economic hubs would be guarded during a war, would they not? I mean, they make for pretty fucking obvious targets.
true.
Look, when I first escaped from Cheliax, I made my home in Casimir. And I still call that home because I have friends there. But then I went to the capital to earn my keep and to get close to the Emperor.
All right. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying this plan poses a significant level of threat. I'm not. How is Casimir any better than Opara? They're both going to be guarded to the tits.
That's a good question.
If we are going to get into the fort there with our forces, one tactic we can use is to dig underground, and knowing the city layout and area layout, we could probably dig into cellars and then strike from the inside there.
We're not going in as an army.
We're going in as what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When we're out here in the open, and an army approaches us or somebody approaches us, we're out alone on the plains, and we have no protection. We have no anonymity. Most importantly, It's easy to get lost in a large town, and that's our best protection.
Xandu will sort of look at Poe and go, I'm not used to having anonymity anywhere.
Yeah, a couple of you may pose some problems. Enderling.
As long as I have proper disguise, I can act the part with my magic to help me in that area.
Well, at least, I mean, like push come to shove, you can cover Xandu in makeup. Enderling is a different story.
Yeah, at the very least, I can show him as a useful servant at the very least. If I need to be and need to act as a noble for a disguise.
Unfortunately, if you disguise yourself as a noble, then it'll be even easier to recognize you.
Yeah, because you're a noble. You're like,
Yeah.
True.
You are a
Francis
noble with a very
disguising
big
himself
bounty
as a
on your
bigot.
head.
It's going to be difficult to hide my identity, but I think I can come up with a traveling wizard disguise to hide that to a certain extent.
Oh,
You
just
could be a traveling poultry merchant.
Yeah, I could be a traveling illusionist. I do know spells for that area, or be a general wizard traveler.
But dye your hair and give you a Glasgow smile. No one will notice the difference.
Xandu shakes his head. You know, there's some of us which could get into the city easy enough, but others of us, I don't think it would be the best idea.
Based upon this is one way we could potentially get in if we disguise ourselves quite well, and I have the proper help in camp. I believe we can make the proper documentation to get us in through the front gate. Possibly.
Well, you know what? I didn't figure we were going to have to go through customs, but now that you said it aloud in front of Tommy.
It is the one way
We
we
had to
could
do it once already.
Yeah, the original plan to get to Absalom, we were going to be a traveling circus, go through one of the port cities, and then take a boat across the sea.
Hey, that's still a thing. So Mercutio, he looks really exasperated. Whenever you decide what it is you're gonna do, come find me. I'll be back at camp. Just let me know, so I know whether. I really hope my as much as it was on Discord.
Yeah.
This session may very well be titled. But anyway, as always, guys, for more. Maybe this is my own ego. I definitely want Tommy. Thank you guys so much for helping. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.